Hello everybody and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. As you can tell by the heading of this live stream, I have some information that was posted by Eddie, and I've got some evidence as well to back up what I've been saying on this channel for absolute, I don't know how long now. But do you remember when Council of Geeks came out with their nonsense, and I came out and I said it was nonsense? Do you remember when Screenlink came out, tried to say that a new showrunner was already in place and stuff like that, and I said it was nonsense? Well, it is all nonsense. A tweet from someone who's actually approached the BBC, who happens to be a director producer, has confirmed this over 8 hours ago. So I have that tweet as well. But all I'm going to say to you is this, right? When it comes to Doctor Who source information, there are only two places that you guys should be looking for all your information, and that's either off me or Eddie of Scarrow. And I will say that out straight. This is not me being big-headed. This is me going to show you now that I've been telling the truth all along. These people out there, there's other YouTubers out there that have been putting out rumor after rumor after rumor saying a doctor is being chosen, new showrunner has been chosen, and it's absolutely all bullshit. It's crap. As we said, and as I said on this channel for ages now, BBC are going through the process. They're looking for potential showrunners. They're going through the process. Apparently now they've got their list, and they'll go through each one, and they will make a decision. But nothing will be decided this year. As I said, BBC are not in any hurry to announce a new showrunner or a new doctor, and it won't be happening anytime soon. I even had an argument with Screenleak because they tried to say there would be an embargoed press release and all of this, and I called them out and I told them, you are talking rubbish. There has been no decisions made. So if anybody is going to be running with this on their YouTube channel, don't forget to give Eddie and myself the credit when you are putting this out, because I am sick and tired of people accusing me and Eddie and others out there that do Doctor Who source information of lying when I can back this up. And I'm going to show you now. And I'm going to show you what Eddie put up today. I can confirm what Eddie is speaking about on his Twitter account. I've received the same information. Didn't know we were allowed to run with it, but there you go. Eddie ran with it anyway. But I'll show you his tweet as well. Very interesting stuff, folks. Very interesting. And for those people out there that think that BBC are not willing to change, well, all the indicators and all the evidence that we're getting is that they will. That BBC know that they've messed up with Doctor Who. So again, I will ask those people that are hesitant to get behind this, hashtag Sheen for 14. Remember, we're only sending a message to the BBC. We're not actually saying that Michael Sheen will be the doctor or will be chosen as the doctor, but we want them to know that this is the type of person, he embodies what we think the doctor should be, and that's the whole point of the hashtag. We're not setting ourselves up to be disappointed like some have claimed out there. We're under no illusions that BBC could continue down the same path, but all the evidence indicates differently. All the evidence indicates differently. Now, let's get into this. Let us get into this. Right. So I've taken screenshots, I've put them on my messenger, so it's easier for us to do this. So we'll start with the bullshit from Screenlink, right? And I'll show you what I wrote up in response to their nonsense. Now remember, when I come out against Council of Geeks and I said it was bullshit, Even I called out the media, right? Media tried to claim that that this information, basically, if they're reporting on it, they think there's some truth in this information. There wasn't. I said at the time that the article was funny because Council of Geeks was saying that he got his information off a friend who knew someone within the industry. So it was third-hand information. Well, that third-hand information was run with by a lot of other YouTubers. It was tweeted by Mr. Tardis and other people out there, and it's all bullshit. And I'm going to prove that it's all bullshit. But firstly, I just want to remind all of my supporters, all of my followers of the last few weeks and the bullshit that has been put out there. So let us start. We'll start with this one. Right? So here we go. Right, this is from Screen Leak, and they said decisions have been definitely made. Perhaps not a verdict, but they have been made. An announcement will follow after Series 13. Take it from people who work in the industry, not someone who's been praying for the departure of Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. And there was my response to them. Absolutely bull. No decisions have been made. And take it from a man who broke the Whittaker and Chibnall leaving news. Right? Now, let's continue. Right? I'll be fair here. So this was the rumor that he ran with on the 5th of August. A rather consistent and plausible, it's not plausible, a rumor currently spreading right now is that award winner writer Sally Wainwright has landed the Doctor Who showrunner gig. If she is in fact taking the position, we could see Saran Jones, Sarah Lancashire, or Charlie Murphy as the 14th Doctor. This would be a huge gain for Doctor Who if Wainwright takes charge of the sci-fi show. Sally has consistent flow of high-quality, critically acclaimed shows produced by the BBC. She has also won a BAFTA for her writing. Right? And then they said this. Interesting. Received a DM this morning from a source that wants to remain anonymous. They're saying that the next showrunner for Doctor Who is Jed Mercurio, wherever that second name is, with Kaylee Hawes set to become the 14th Doctor. Take this with a humongous pinch of salt. What do you think? And then they go on to say blah, 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 right? Then they wrote, our thoughts on the future Doctor Who. We think it's safe to say Pete McTeague has secured the position of showrunner. We also would say his choice for the 14th Doctor would be Scottish actress Laura Fraser from The Pact and Breaking Bad. Thoughts, right? Now, as you all well know, right, before I show you the next message, because the next message is glorious, right? As you all know, I've been telling people out straight, listen, that's bull, right? I've been saying it for weeks now, right? It's bullshit. No doctor has been chosen. No showrunner is in place, right? And this is the tweet that backs me up, right? And this is from a reliable person, because as you all know out there, an American came forward, put their name forward, and asked people how they got in contact with BBC. Eddie messaged that person, and then I retweeted and said, yeah, Eddie is the person to go and see. Your bloke has made contact with the BBC, and this is what he was told. And this tweet backs up everything that I've been saying, right? This comes from someone who is reliable. So when I say no showrunners in place and BBC have time to make their decisions, I mean it. So all of those YouTubers, little YouTubers out there that have been putting out all their Reddit leaks, claiming that doctors have been picked and showrunners have been picked, they're talking out of their ass. And this is why. Wait, you see this. This is glorious. Contact with the BBC has been made. They're going through their own process, which began before my tweet, and that has run its course. But if those don't pan out, there's a discussion to be had. They will reach out, very courteous, so we'll see where their processes lead. as I said, they're in the process of narrowing down who they want to showrunner. As I said on this channel for weeks, and it's probably a few months that I've been telling people, right? And this fella, for some of you that don't know, he's worked on some famous TV shows, and he wants to put his name forward for Doctor Who, right? Now, as I told everybody, right, myself and Eddie are not in the habit of going around and lying, right? We've already seen with all the bullshit, with all the other nasty people, and that they're all being exposed now, right? And again, time after time, I prove to people on this channel, right? Not the people that hate me, but I prove to people on this channel all the time that I'm telling the truth. Me and Eddie have no reason to lie to anybody. No reason, right? Processes were in place. This is what I said. They're going through potential showrun. That's what I said, right? I'm sick and tired of these people out there saying that me and Eddie lie. We do not lie. We put the information out as we get it, right? And it all comes to pan anyway, right? All comes to bear anyway. So for all those people out there that I said that were talking bullshit, I'm going to say it again. You are talking bullshit, right? PD Rich says, Babylon 5, Thor, classic He-Man, and he's pretty much Harlan Ellison protege. There you go. There you go. Babylon 5. He put his name forward. BBC have got in contact with him and said, oh, they've already started their process. And as Eddie has described it, it's a fluid situation, which means it'll change over time. But no decisions will be made anytime soon. BBC are going to take their time with this. So no showrunner, as I said, is in place. No doctor is in place. So those that are actually rumoured out there to say that, well, Jodie's replacement's there for a regeneration scene. Bullshit. Bullshit. We spoke about a month ago on this channel. What they'll do is they'll film 2 regeneration scenes. One with a woman and one with a man, right? Because they haven't made their decisions who they want yet, right? Now, I'm going to show you a tweet from Eddie today. Now, remember, obviously, if you've been following the channel, I told you so I was sitting on some information. But so was Eddie. And Eddie has decided to run with it. And I'm going to show you what he's written today, right? But I can tell you right now, I'll tell you what right now, right? As I said, there is no showrunner in place. No decisions have been made. They're in the process of making those decisions, but no final decision has been made. So Screen Leak can kiss me arse because they tried to discredit me. And as for Council of Geeks, I told everybody that was bullshit, right? You get information off someone that got information off someone, right? And then the newspapers report on it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous carry on. The media have lost all credibility, in my opinion. And I'm deadly serious. When it comes to Doctor Who rumours, there's only 2 places to get it. And that's off me and Eddie. And that's not being big-headed. We have a track record, right? So I wish people would start listening to us when we tell you all of these things. We have nothing to gain by lying to anybody, right? Absolutely nothing to gain. We don't lie. We put out the information as we get it. Now, here it is. Here's his tweet, right? So this is what he put up today. Now, as I said, I've had this because I told you all last week. I was sitting on information that I couldn't go run with, but apparently it was ran with this morning. So that doesn't matter. That happens. As I said, me and Eddie share sources in common. So if Eddie decided to run with it, he must have got the okay. I haven't checked my emails. My sources have probably told me it's okay to run with this, but it doesn't matter. Eddie has done it, and I'm more than happy to throw up Eddie's tweet and show what he's actually said, right? So here we go. And this, obviously, as we always say, though, even though we've been proven to be right most of the time, right? I'm going to make this clear, right? What I'm about to put up on the screen is rumour and speculation, and until BBC verify it, or deny it, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, basically. So here we go. Rumour patrol. Jodie Whittaker will be filmed open-ended. A 60th anniversary is likely to be a legacy TV movie starring David Tennant. The BBC are hell-bent on a female showrunner. Series 14 is likely to be sometime after the November the 23rd. Roadblock will no longer house Doctor Who. Right? Now, I was told the David Tennant news, and I got very excited. Now, people will ask, why David Tennant? Well, David Tennant, believe it or not, and most of you will know this already, David Tennant is the most popular New Who Doctor. Now, I know we all have our personal favourites, but David Tennant is considered the most popular New Who Doctor, so it would make sense to bring him back for a legacy TV movie. Now, as for showrunner, they are hell-bent, apparently, on a female showrunner, but I have been informed that Sally Wainwright is not on their list. If I was to guess, I would probably say people like Maxine Alderton, because her name's been mentioned a few times. But there could be other names. If other names come forward, I will let you know. But as I said, myself, Eddie, have no reason to be lying to anybody out there, right? We give the information out as we see it. And time again, as I say, we keep proving to everybody that we're spot on. I told everybody that Council of Geeks was lying. I told everybody that Screen Leak was lying. I told everybody that the media had lost all credibility because they were reporting on this bullshit. Then you have the younger YouTubers out there putting up Reddit leaks, claiming that the new showrunner and the new Doctor is already in place. Even some saying that the new Doctor was seen filming, right? This is how ridiculous they are. No new Doctor was seen filming because there's no new Doctor in place, just like we said. Just like we said. You know, again, time and time again, myself and Eddie keep proving to everybody that we are always honest with what we put up anyway. What we receive off our sources, you know, we know our sources are not bullshitting us around, right? They give us what they hear, we report on it, and as you have seen time and time again, these things start to pan out. So as I said, and I've been saying this ever since the Whittaker announcement, no showrunner, no new Doctor is in place. And for those thinking, well, because this was the excuse that you were getting, well, they wouldn't announce Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall gone if they didn't have anybody in place. As I have said from day one, the reason why they made the announcement, when they made the announcement, it gives them time. It gives them time to pick the right showrunner, and it gives that showrunner the right time to pick their Doctor, right? Nothing is in place. Now, so now, I will say this. If anybody would like to come on for a few minutes, this is not going to be a big, long-ass stream. But if anybody wants to come on, let me know in the chat and I'll send you an email. You can come on and give your thoughts on what I've spoken about. But again, I will tell you now, folks, right? When it comes to Doctor Who source news, and I'm not just saying this, the two people that you should be listening to is myself and Eddie. We don't steer you wrong. We've never steered you wrong, right? Okay? We've always told you what we've been given, and these things seem to pan out every time. Every time. So bear with us, you know. As I said, you know, there's so much bullshit out there. You kind of have to, you know, take a step back and listen to the people that are telling you that it's bull, basically. But again, I just want to say, if anybody out there is going to be reporting on this on their YouTube channel, right? Please put the link to my stream in your link description. Tell people that we've been speaking about it for because we've been speaking about it for a very long time, right? And as I said, we never steer you wrong. You never steer. And me and Eddie get a lot of stick, by the way. We always get a lot of stick on Twitter with these kids and these other people that support all of these other people that put out rumors of lying. And every time we prove something, we prove them wrong, right? And I'm sick of it. I'm actually sick of it, to be quite honest with you, because, you know, me and Eddie have no reason to lie. Why would we make shit up? We don't look. We wouldn't like that to happen to us, right? People making stuff up, right? Green screen. They'll put something. They'll add it later on. They'll add it later on. Odd Bandicoot 96. They'll add whoever's taken over after the fact. But as I said, no doctor, no showrunner is in place. Charlotte, I have sent you an email. PD Rich says he'll pop in as well. I'll send you an email as well. Come on, give us your thoughts. But again, folks, as I said, look at, you know, and it's already coming out, all the bullshit with the fans harassing other people. People are starting to believe me now. But they should have, because I never told a lie. Anyway, I've been falsely accused of all of this other stuff as well. And now, because, you know, 3 popular people in the fandom were picked on by these troll accounts, now everybody is starting to believe, well, maybe there was. I've never lied. I've showed screenshots, as Lee said, over 800 screenshots were sent as evidence. I don't lie, right? When I say I'm being bullied and being targeted, I am being bullied and targeted. When I say I've got Doctor Who source news and I say other people are talking bullshit, I'm right. And this is not me being big-headed, right? This is what happens over the experience that I have of dealing with these sources and putting information out, right? I have a handle on this game now, right? So I know my sources are never telling me porkies, right? And it's panned out again anyway. It's panned out again. And if anybody's just joined us, by the way, go back to the very start of the stream where I show you the evidence. And it's irrefutable evidence, by the way. It proves what I said all along. No showrunner, no doctor in place. Now, if there are people reporting on this that have YouTube channels, as I said, the stream in the link description, also give myself and Eddie a shout out, because to be quite honest with you, you know, people do run with this and they never say where the source information comes from. It comes from myself, it comes from Eddie. We've been telling you this for months. So I've sent the emails. So if you are ready to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. Let's see who's in the chat anyway. Let's see. We'll give a few shout outs there. We've got Queen Charlotte. We've got Tim. Welcome. Enigmatic Joker is in the chat. Welcome. We've got Rabbi in the chat as well. Queen Charlotte, as I said, PD Rich. John Steed is in the chat. I was talking to John last night. It's nice to see him back in the chat. Welcome, John. Nice to see you, pal. Nice to see you. We got Philip Archer. We got Glenn Edwards. Odd Bandicoot 96, as I said. And we got Lindsay in the chat. Let's bring on our first guest while we're waiting. Yeah, I've sent you an email. Charlotte. Go and check your email. If you haven't gotten an email, let me know and I'll send you another email. But I've already sent you an email. But let's bring on our first guest. It's the one and only PD Rich.
Hello, Noel. How you doing, mate?
Oh, not too bad. So again, the sources have panned out. What? I mean, every time. But what do you think of what you've heard today? Very interesting.
definitely go with Joseph Straczynski. As I said in the chat earlier, he's Harlan Ellison's protege. He's like, and Harlan Ellison was the godfather of American science fiction. So I'd run with him. I'd take him a bloody run if you can get a deal with him.
Well,
he
if
was
he
the right
wants
episode.
the job, if he wants the job, then money is not an issue. Let's put that out there. So if he obviously wants the job, because we've seen his original tweet, because I put the original tweet on this channel a few weeks back when he did actually say he was looking the show run. So we put that tweet up. I mean, if he wants this job, then obviously money isn't an issue for him. He just wants to write Doctor Who.
If I was in charge, I'd give it to him, mate. I'd give it straight to him.
That's what I mean. But BBC have already started the process, so he's a little bit late. So they've got their list. So they'll go through each one, and if it doesn't pan out, then they said they'd get in touch with, which is a bit kind of harsh, really. To kind of put it that way, but he did say
Harlan Ellison's protege up, and you go, "We'll get in touch." My God, you people stupid.
But he did say that they were very courteous towards him and very respectful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you know, I've heard rumors about multiple showrunners. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, all I'll say about that multiple showrunner business, Bobby, is that you're not far off the mark, to be quite honest. And when I mean multiple showrunners, I mean there might be people coming in to do the other specials. So there could be a chance. And also, with the new series, there is talk that there might be multiple showrunners, but none of that is being confirmed yet, or we have enough source information to back that up right now. But that is one of the things floating about. But as I said, Screen Leak were talking through their arse. Council of Geeks were talking through their arse. I told you all this, you know, and I thought it was very unprofessional of the newspapers to run with a story with absolutely no evidence to back it up. You know, we talk about the stuff on this, and I try to present evidence if I can. Now, obviously, most of the time I can't do that, but we wait until and see what happens a few months down the line, see if any of this pans out. And most of the time, I have to be honest, it does pan out. So, again, as I said, you know, I said that all of these people were talking bull, that there was no showrunner in place. So, hold on, we got the Queen coming on as well, so can't keep the Queen waiting. So, let's bring the Queen on.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, sorry about before. I thought I had to take the dog out, and then my dad was like, "Oh, I'll do it." So now I'm okay.
Right. So obviously you've been listening. So what are your thoughts on what you've heard so far?
Well, it makes so much sense. I think some people are they so desperately want to know what the future is for the show that they're not actually looking at how the BBC's acting, how they're wording things.
Yeah.
And if you look at the way they've been acting, this whole of Whittaker, the announcement, from the beginning of the announcement actually, of Chibnall and Whittaker, this has not been like any other handover, because it isn't. No. Every other person we knew by the same day when Moffat was going that we're going to get Chibnall. We knew when Russell was going that day, we knew Moffat was going to take over. That's a handover. The fact that Chibnall, in his own statement, said, "Whoever's next, good luck." That's sort of paraphrasing what he basically said. Like, no other showrunner has said that before, so he doesn't know. And that's another good sign, actually. Yeah. That, to me, it looks like Chibnall's got no say whatsoever.
He doesn't.
What's happening next, and that's also out the norm.
He doesn't have any say, because as I've been trying to tell people and get it through people's heads over the last couple of weeks, especially since we've been doing this Sheen for 14, there's a reason behind that hashtag. It's because we know that BBC want to change. I've said this. Yeah. The evidence backs it up. Look at his last season. They've already put their foot down. So for people out there thinking that BBC are not capable or not willing to change, they are. They know that this show is on its last legs. They just had to, as I said a few weeks ago on this channel, or a few months ago, whenever it was, I turned around and said, BBC are obviously not going to admit that publicly. Why would they admit that publicly?
They never will.
Never do.
They're going to back their man. They're going to save face. They're never going to come out and say it was a failure. But they know behind the scenes that it is on every level. Merchandise sales down. Ratings have gone to an all-time low. She didn't feature in the Doctor Who annual. Decisions have already been made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
and
it comes to those type of things, they
Yeah.
know that this show is a failure. So
the important thing is, it's for me, what I'm seeing from the BBC is they are making decisions based on profit and what's going to help the show. They're no longer making decisions as much on politics when it
No.
comes to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That's what
No.
I'm seeing, and
That's what's happening in Disney at the moment as well. Slowly.
and even the female showrunner thing that Eddie was saying they're hell bent on. I think that's actually a good move, because if you have a female showrunner, I think that gives you more freedom with what Doctor you're going to pick.
Yeah.
Because we all know if they went with another male showrunner who went with a male Doctor, for example, then they would be absolutely raked over the coals. But if they've got a female showrunner, then that means the chance of a male Doctor actually goes up, I think, because they've already got the sort of the politics angle with a female showrunner, and we've all said that's probably more important than a Doctor. So the fact that they've gone with a female in that regard, I think, is them sort of being a bit savvy and thinking, well, if we do that, then certain parts of the fandom are going to be happy, and they're going to give us more freedom with the Doctor.
I said this, that every decision that BBC will make will be designed to please both sides of the fandom. They are very careful. They're going to be very careful this time around, because, you know, they did believe that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall would reinvigorate the show. But it hasn't panned out, and they know this. This is why there's been constant fighting behind the scenes that we've been even speaking about since Series 11 on this channel.
Yeah.
Right? Problems continued into the production of Series 12. They have not been happy behind the scenes. They haven't, but publicly, they're obviously going to try save face. Obviously, there's been channels like mine that been telling you that no matter how much they try save face, it's all gone wrong, and people behind the scenes know it's all gone wrong. And it has. And they won't be influenced by anybody, right? They won't be influenced by the other side either. They won't be even influenced by us, right? They're going to make the decisions that they think are the right decisions. And as Charlotte said as well, and it's a very good point to make, right? Every decision that they make, they'll be looking at, well, how can they make money out of this? Like, you know, it's a financial situation now. They know they're in dire straits. They cannot mess up this time round. They have to pick the right people this time, or it is game over. And they do know that. So, as I said, you know, no showrunner yet, because, as I said, they will take their time. And don't be surprised, as I said, even some are claiming that there'll be an announcement when Series 13 airs. I don't even see that happening either.
I don't.
It'll be next year when any decision, when they start going into the specials, that's when I think, after the New Year special, that's when I think then we will start getting information, because it'll lead up then to the next special, that then they'll make the announcement, I reckon. But no decision or no announcement, in my opinion, this is not me sources, this is me, because if you look at it logically, I don't see any decisions being made. They're going to take their time. They have to get this right. Everything that they do, they'll be thinking, ching, ching, how can we bring in the money? And that's what they'll be thinking now when they make decisions on who the showrunner is and who the next Doctor is, right? It's all about money now. They've gone past the point of no return now, so they have to do something. And if they don't do it, they know that this show is gone. It's finished. It's not going to survive. So the decisions, as I said, they're going to take their time with them. Now, obviously, you know, that's for anybody, I'll just remind people again that have joined us late to remind people what I'm actually talking about. So, as you all know, there are people out there that have been spreading rumours that Doctor Who has already picked its new showrunner, that Doctor Who has done this, that, and the other, or BBC have done this, that, and the other. I can now confirm that that's all bull, because I'll show you this tweet again, which is very illuminating, as they would say. And yeah, I am kind of a bit cocky today. The only reason why I am is because I'm sick of people telling me that I lie, that I'm putting out false rumors. We've even had people try to take down my channel because they think I'm putting out false rumors. But every time I keep proving these people wrong. And here's the tweet that confirms everything that I say. And this is from a check mark, by the way. And this is from someone who is absolutely 100% reliable. Now, hold on. See, something's happened overnight with me. Did Facebook update or something?
I didn't see anything.
No.
Because they changed me Messenger into a separate feckin' entity on this computer. So here we go. This is the tweet. We won't know before Series 13 script. Here's the tweet anyway. See,
yeah, Lee, look at this tweet. That's what we're talking about.
This is what I'm putting up with. People saying, don't be listening to other people out there. No decisions have been made, as I've said. Contact with the BBC has been made. They're going through their own processes, which began before my tweet, and that has run its course. But if those don't pan out and there's a decision to be had, they will reach out. Very courteous, so we'll see where their processes lead. As I said, they're in the process of looking for a new showrunner. No decisions will be made before Series 14.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you look at that tweet, a few people got confused. He's not saying it's done with. He's saying it has to run its course. So that means it's still going on. It's an easy, I know, because I saw a few people say, no, look at that tweet again. He's saying it's been decided. If you actually look at it, he's saying the process is still ongoing. It's just the wording, it can be read either way, I think, a little bit. But
that's Straczynski.
So basically, exactly what Charlotte has said there, right? No decisions. And Eddie followed it up with a tweet saying that the situation's fluid, which means it's changing all the time, right? Yeah. They have people that on a list, and they'll be going through each one, and they'll be seeing, basically, as I said on this channel, these potential showrunners are probably going to pitch BBC an idea. BBC then will tell them what they would like to see happen to the show. And if those potential showrunners agree, well, then they have a very good chance of getting the job, basically. But no, I'm going to say it again, no decisions will be made before Series 13, right? No decisions will be made before Series 13. So I want to make that clear, right? I reckon it will be next year before any decision or anything is known. This is why they announced Whittaker and Chibnall leaving. And Charlotte makes a brilliant point. If they already had the showrunner and doctor in place, it would have been announced already, like it was every other time. Chris Chibnall has done an interview for Doctor Who magazine, and he's even spoke about it briefly, and he doesn't know who's taken over.
No, so, the fact that Chibnall's clueless means that the BBC are very much still deciding.
Exactly. Yeah. They have not made any decisions. No decisions are made. So you won't know anything. So whoever is telling you, Lee, that that before Series 13 films, that they'll make an announcement is talking through their arse. They're talking through their arse. I'm telling you out straight now, there won't be a decision made until next year. Next year. They've got plenty of time now. They're going to go through each applicant, right? They'll find out who they want for the doctor as well. Then what they'll do then is that obviously those potential showrunners will pitch an idea. BBC will tell them what they want, right? And if both are aligned together, well, then that would be the most likely candidate that will take over the show.
Yeah. Little thought, has anyone asked Rhiannon Pratchett if she wants to be showrunner?
Who's that, PD? I don't know the name.
That's Terry Pratchett's daughter. She's
just give us a second. You two just talk there for a second.
She's kind of keeper of the Pratchett kingdom at the moment.
Well, yeah. If, like I said, I don't.
They've got to have a female.
Here's the thing. I know certain parts of the fandom will be like, "Oh God, female showrunner," but I actually think that's a good move. I really do.
Has anyone? They screwed the watch up, and she's pissed off about that. But that's another matter. They turned it into like steampunk, didn't they?
And
Woke.
also the fact that I'm getting the vibes that they're going outside the circle. That's why they've given themselves so much
I
time.
think they've got to now. It's as I said, Peter Briggs. I spoke to Peter. Used to know Peter Briggs years ago. Wrote Hellboy, and he always used to call the circle the Doctor Who Monthly Mafia because half of them were always from Doctor Who Monthly.
Yeah, well, it just got too pally, didn't it?
Yeah, way too pally.
See, the bottom line is this. BBC know they're in a situation right now that they've never been in. Financially, they've been hit all over the place. And it's not just Doctor Who, by the way. I think people have to take all of this into context, right? BBC have lost over, I think it was 200, 300,000 TV license fees, right? So that's money they've already lost, right? Then you look at all their other IPs. Top Gear is not doing too well. EastEnders is the lowest rated that it's been in a while. These shows are not making the money that they used to be. And then you add Doctor Who on top of that, one of their biggest IPs that hasn't been making money in the time that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker have been in place. They cannot afford to get this wrong. So they will take their time. And
yeah, no, it's like I sort of described it. I think it was one of mine and Daniel's streams. I said the current era has been almost an era of vanity, that they didn't have to answer to at the beginning money issues because they got chucked money from HBO and this China deal. They were drinking the Kool-Aid of, we had Ray at that moment, we had all these female-led genre things going on. So at the beginning they didn't have to answer to these things, so it was vanity, and it was running on vanity. And then the last year, we've all said this, look at how not even the show's acting, look at how the licensees around it have been acting.
I know.
I mean, look at Doctor Who magazine, like even the issue that's just gone out, which has Chibnall writing about leaving on it.
Yeah, he's only a small little piece.
Yeah. Jodie isn't even on the cover.
I know. They've got Hartnell on the cover,
They've got Hartnell. Like,
yeah.
what does that tell you? When there's an issue with major news about the future of the current era, and they can't even put it on the cover.
There won't be. I'm telling you now, Lee, and I know you keep and you do this every time I do source news. You always try to wind me up with your comments, but I'm telling you now, there'll be no decision made before Christmas, and I don't know.
Also, think about this, Lee. This series has got an uphill battle anyway to get any attention on it. Do you really think they're going to divert that by announcing a new Doctor and showrunner before it airs?
They won't, and I know this for a fact. They won't. It'll be 20. What we in 2020? What's the date year? 2021.
Yeah.
There won't be any. We won't know that until 2022, and you can take that to the bank. Right, and this is not me getting soft. This is just looking at this logically, right? With the way they've done things so far, it make no sense for them to come out Christmas time and say that they've got the new showrunner in place. They're going to take their time. It'll be 2022 before any decision is made, right? So again, as I said, every time we get criticised on this channel, myself and Eddie's rumours pan out every time. And I'm not putting up with any bull anymore. People telling me that this, that, and the other. If I say that there'll be no decisions made until I hear that in different my sources, right now, as far as I'm aware, no decisions will be made until 2022. Now, if that changes, I'll obviously come on this channel and I'll let you know. But right now, BBC, as I said, are in the process. They've got their list. They've got their potential people. And now all it'll be now is they will basically siphon out the people that they don't think will fit what they want. So what they'll do is they'll narrow the list down, and that's going to take months, right? They're not going to rush any of this whatsoever. They're not going to rush any of this. They are going to take their time. As I said, we've been saying on this channel as well, people saying, well, Jodie is finished filming and all this, so they have to have the new Doctor there. No. As I said, Regeneration scene was filmed with a man and a woman, right? And that's the way it'll be left until they decide who they go with. Okay? So look, again, I'm not from now on, I'm not going to entertain any more people trying to contradict me. At the end of the day, my sources, Eddie's sources, have come through so many times now that people need to stay up and start listening to us. To be quite honest with you, I'm actually sick and tired of people coming to me saying, "Well, what you're not you're talking bull and all this crap." I've proven time and time again. Eddie has proven time and time again. We have no reason to lie. Why would we lie?
Okay, oh no, that's a good question from Link.
Yeah.
He's just said, not mind you up, mate, but if they weren't signing deals now, why announce they were leaving when they did? I think this is a good question. It's already destroyed any momentum. I think, Lee, them announcing it when they did, I think that was a signal.
Yeah.
I think that was them trying to signal to the fan base that whatever comes next is going to be different. Whatever we decide next, we're not going to repeat the same mistakes of this era.
Well, if you've already heard you've already seen some of the comments being made about that they're going to bring the show to a whole new audience and all for the next generation. See, again, as Charlotte has said, Lee, you've got to listen to the way BBC are wording these things, mate. And listen, I know you have your very strong opinions, but listen, you should be listening to someone that's been in the game now for a long time and has been proven to be right over and over again. I'm telling you, and I don't think, I have to disagree though. I don't think they have destroyed any momentum for Series 13 because there was none to begin with.
Yeah.
Taylor, there was none to begin with. There was none to begin with. I think what they were hoping was the fact that fans do know that they're gone, which they do. They're hoping that will give it a ratings boost.
Yeah, because that does happen. I think people did that with Peters last season when they knew he was going. I watched it more because of that.
So
I wanted to see him out.
So that would be
bringing
why
audiences.
they've probably done it. But seriously, there was no momentum. They already know that people want them gone, right? Even after Series 12, when the timeless nonsense was shown, fans had had enough, and BBC knew this. So, look. At the end of the day, I can just sit back and wait for all of this to come true when it. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be really arguing with people, but I'm just sick and tired of being told that no, it's going to be this, that, and the other. I know because I've been told, and my sources, as I said, and Eddie's sources have come through time and time again. So it's up to yourselves whether you believe me or not. But I'm telling you now, as far as I am aware right now, there'll be no decisions made until 2022. If that does change, obviously I'll report on it. But right now, as it stands, they have their list. They're going to go through each candidate as they do. There's going to be, like when they cast a new doctor, there's a process in place where they'll bring in different actors and the different actresses and all of that. It's the same with showrunners. They will get the potential showrunners to pitch an idea or what they want. Now, BBC will obviously give them a brief as well. Right, this is how it will work. BBC will give them a brief. The potential showrunners will go away. They will come back then, and they will then pitch their idea to BBC, and BBC will then decide who is the best candidate. We'll have to disagree now. Nobody really knows. Keep up the good work. Peace, buddy. Well, in fairness, I'm sorry to sound cocky here, but I do know because I've been right so far. So if I'm saying that there's going to be no decision made, there's no decision going to be made yet. And this is not me being cocky. This is because of the couple of years now that I've been doing all of this. I could safely say stuff like that because I know. As I said, if I get anything any different, then I'll report on it. But right now, as it stands, Ronan, yeah, obviously, if you had watched my channel, I followed up that piece of information, by the way, and I explained why they didn't leave. But again, we got people like yourself that just latch on to the fact that I put out one video but never go and watch the follow-up videos. And that's the thing. When Mr. Tardis was doing his hit piece, he never showed the follow-up videos that I'd done explaining all this. And by the way, they were leaving.
That was
They
Chaos
were
in
leaving.
Cardiff. Yeah.
Chaos in Cardiff did happen. And it's all going to come out. It will come out. And I'll be vindicated again, and so will me sources.
Oh, the blowback from these.
So I don't really
sagas
care
been
what you think,
extreme.
to be quite honest with you. And I don't know what you're here for, because I blocked you ages ago for your dirty messages that you were putting up. So someone remove him. I don't want him in the chat.
And also, here's another thing, like, at the earliest, we are going to see Series 14 2023. That's the earliest.
Yeah.
If you look at the time frame, because
Well, if you look at the time frame, you're right. Absolutely spot on, Charlotte. It will be 2023, more than likely.
So why announce it now?
There is rumour, right? And I will say this, but there is rumour that the new series of Doctor Who will actually start on New Year's Day. They will start off with a New Year special. Now, for people doubting that, remember David Tennant started off with a Christmas special. Yeah. So it's not beyond impossible for the new showrunner to start his New Year's Day. You know, they probably film a one-off, and then they'll continue then to film the rest of the show then, and then we'll probably get then Series 14 officially then in 2023, sometime down the line. But they'll probably film an episode beforehand and drop it on New Year's Day. You never know. You never know. Because remember, the Chibnall era officially finishes on BBC Centenary celebration, which happens in October. So that's next October, isn't it?
Yeah, so we haven't got rid of these two officially till October next year.
Yeah. So look, again, I don't mind people coming in here and saying they don't agree with me and stuff like that, right? But if you're gonna come in and say, well, you said you were leaving and you haven't went and watched me follow up stream. See, this is the thing, right? Why do you think I'm still supported? Why do you think these people like Charlotte and PD and all of me chat keep coming back to me streams, right? If I was such a liar, right, why would they be all here? Why would I still be supported?
Exactly.
I'll tell you why. Because they have watched every single stream, every single video that I've put out, right? Everything. Even the follow-ups when information hasn't panned out, I explain the reasons why, right? Because that's the difference between me and other sources out there, right? Eddie does the same as well. We explain, or we try to explain the best of our ability, and our sources try to explain to us why the decision wasn't made when it wasn't made, right? It's as simple as that. So on another note, check out the new Eternals trailer. It's good. I will. I see in the poster, Lee. So thank you for that. I will be checking that out, mate. I really appreciate that. But again, you know, I am sick and tired of having to defend me and Eddie all the time. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to be right before the fandom sit up and take notice of us.
Well, the problem is, no, you've got certain bits of the fandom who so desperately want like this type of actress or this actor or this showrunner, and they're so desperate that they won't, like I said, listen to others because they want their choice. And that's always been a bit in the fandom, but I feel like
fundamentalism,
with Jodie and Chibnall going, I've seen a lot more of that, of people like willing almost their wants for the next era into being.
Now, I have actually received something now because the sources know I'm live. So I'm told that it's safe to go with this piece of information. So I'll put out my little bit to add to, obviously, the stuff that Eddie put out, which I showed just at the start of the stream. So if you want to go back and have a look at all the stuff that I put up. So this is obviously a rumor, but Julie Gardner, who worked with RTD, is a name that has been doing the rounds as a potential showrunner. Now, if we got her, I'd have no problem with that because she worked with RTD, and I think she would. I think she would cast a male doctor if I'm
I do.
honest.
Yeah,
So
she knows
that's
it
just
works.
one name, right? We will try and find out who the other names on this list are. It'll be probably very difficult, but we will try. But that is a name that has been floating about. Again, I will say treat this with a pinch of salt, until either confirmed or denied by BBC.
Also, wait a minute. That would work though with the special being a tenant-centric thing.
Yeah.
That if she starts possibly, like I said, this is rumor, but let's say she gets it for series 14. Well, wouldn't it not make sense for her to then start basically with Tennant and have that as like her first go before she starts doing her own Doctor?
Yeah, I look. I mean, it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting name. I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people would like that. There's another name there, but I'm not allowed to go with that right now. But it's another person that I think that has worked on the show. See, again, if you look at the people that the other side are rumored, right? They're all like people that they would like to see a showrunner, like a Sally Wainwright and all these other names. But when you actually look at the rumors that are coming out, and you look, even the names that are popping out, you can tell that BBC, if this is true, BBC, they're looking back. So basically, they're looking at people. I'll put it to you this way: they're looking at people who made Doctor Who success when they came back in 2005 and onwards. That's what my guess is by the names that I'm saying. So they want to go. So basically, they want to try and recapture the glory days of when the show first came back in 2005. Now, again, if you look at the decisions that have been made for Chris Chibnall's final season, right? For people out there's still people out there that I think they're just bitter, to be quite honest with you. They've nothing better to do with moan anyway. They say they don't care about the show, but they constantly keep moaning about and moan and say, well, BBC won't change. They will cast their blah, 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 blah. Right? I'm sorry to say, but you are wrong. Right? BBC know that they're in a situation right now that they've never been in before, and they are panicking. And they will, and we've already seen, and the evidence backs it up with what Chris Chibnall has been saying. His era is going to be serialized. There's going to be a continuous story arc. So every episode is going to add to the arc that he's trying to whatever the story he's going to tell. But BBC have already put their foot down. So for people out there thinking that BBC still aren't capable of change, well, I'm sorry, the evidence already shows that they're already changing. So you're either on board with it or you're not. And I will say this, anybody that complains, right, and when Series 13 comes around, right, and you think the show is dead, if you start complaining about Doctor Who, you've no right to. You've absolutely no right to. If the show is dead, why complain about it? Why keep talking about it?
Exactly.
Right? You have no reason to talk about it. But you will. Your channels will all feature Series 13 reviews because you will get the views. But yeah, you have turned your back on the show.
Do you know why I'm hopeful of it now, Noel?
What?
Because I think Doctor Who is in a slightly safer place than Star Trek is right now.
It is.
I think there might be a chance for it to come back. There's that hope. Little bit of hope, but there's that hope.
There is a little bit of hope. There is, and this is why I say, while people are thinking, there's some people out there thinking that I'm setting people up to be disappointed again with all of this hashtag Shame for 14. They clearly don't get it, right? I've explained this several times now. We're not saying that Michael Sheen will get the role, right? We're not right now, right? If I discount the rumors right now, right? We don't know who they're going to cast as the Doctor, right? Let's just say, right? Male or female, right? So for people already out there saying that, well, it doesn't matter. They're going to continue the same path. the evidence already shows something completely different. So you're either on board, you either are a Doctor Who fan and you want this show to succeed, or you've just become bitter and hateful and you don't want it to succeed. I'm sorry that the BBC hurt you all, right? They hurt me too, right? But I'm willing to put that aside to see what they do for the next era, right? And if they show me that they're willing to change, which I think they've already done so far, right? Well, then I'm willing to give the BBC another chance to get this right. But they've only got one more chance. But just because I'm asking people to use the hashtag Sheen for 14 doesn't mean that I'm saying that Michael Sheen's going to get the job, right?
No, it's just to annoy
It's
them.
the whole thing that he embodies what we'd like to see the Doctor to be.
And
And nobody has anything to lose. Even if you think the show is dead, you've nothing to lose by using the bloody hashtag anyway. There's some people out there that won't use it because they either hate me or because of this. No, Doctor Who's dead. Well, you've nothing to lose. You've nothing to lose. And I'd say keep your personal differences aside when it comes to this. You know, you're either a Doctor Who fan or you're not, right? Simple as that. And I'm gonna call you out. It's either that, right? Because I don't see, it just boggles my mind, right? That there are people out there thinking that the BBC won't change when they've already shown already. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, it seems like with what we've heard so far, right? I'm not talking about rumours, but what we've heard from Chris Chibnall's upcoming era, that there's already changes afoot. There's already changes happening, right? So I'm sorry, you know, you people out there that keep going, R.I.P. Doctor Who is dead. As I said, you just have nothing to lose by using that hashtag. And if you are Doctor Who fans like you claim to be Doctor Who fans, well then you would do it. But you won't, because some of you have a personal problem with me, so you are having little digs every time that you get a chance. I just don't see the logic in it. You know, BBC have already shown me so far, as I said, that they're willing to change. And all the information that's been coming out over the last couple of weeks proves this. It proves this. BBC are in a position that they've never been in before. Doctor Who's in real peril. Next decisions that they make are going to be very vital. And as I told you already, BBC thought that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall would reinvigorate the show.
Oh, right? Yes, they thought it'd be a new Tennant age. They really did.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted, and it hasn't panned out that way. So they know now. So now they will make the right decisions. Now, listen, I'm not saying they still won't cast a woman as the Doctor. We don't know. They probably will cast a man. More than likely, it probably will be a man if they go with a female show. That's the way I see it going anyway. If they cast a female showrunner, then it'll be a male Doctor, I reckon.
Yeah, I really think that. I think because then you've got, like I said, you've got both angles covered.
Exactly. I would say to people now, you know, we're in a situation now that we've never been in, especially this side of the fandom, to have our voices to be heard. Send a message to the BBC. That's all we want to do. Make sure, even though we've seen so far that they're making some decisions that might indicate that they are going in a different direction, we've got to keep it up and hold them responsible for what they've done, you know? And they know they've messed up. I've been saying this for a whole year anyway, year and a half.
Yeah.
They know behind the scenes they've messed up. This was supposed to go very differently in BBC's eyes, but it went the opposite way. And remember, I told you that this was about 2 years ago. I told you that BBC wanted Doctor Who successful, that they didn't want to kill the show like somewhere out there was saying, well, they're probably deliberately trying to kill the show. No, they want Doctor Who to be successful because Doctor Who brings them in a shit ton of money. It brings them in a shit ton of money. But it hasn't been doing that.
Certainly did.
Hasn't been doing that under the Chris Chibnall era anyway. So
yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, as I said, if people don't know, because I see there's some people in the chat. They don't know what we're talking about. Well, go back and watch the start of the stream, right? You'll see that I've called out the bullshitters like I did a few weeks back. As I told everybody, no decision on a showrunner was made. No decision on a doctor is being made, even though there's loads of YouTubers out there saying the opposite. They're saying that a new showrunner is in place and a new doctor is in place. That's not true. And if you go back and watch the start of the video, you'll see why that's not true, because we've gotten a director and a producer. PD knows his name. I can't say his name properly. What's his name again?
Oh, it's Joseph Straczynski.
Yeah, Joseph Straczynski, him, right? He's actually come out and confirmed that BBC are doing their process. They've got people there. They've got a list of people now, and if it doesn't pan out with any of those, they said that they will come forward and BBC will get back in touch with them. Could someone remove that person in the chat that sent the super chat? I don't want it, because he puts a super chat up and then takes it away. Could you just remove him, please? He has been trolling myself and Daniel. Remove him, please. I don't want that super chat, so just remove him.
Yeah, and I think another good sort of thing that we need to look at is, let's see what happens in Series 13. Because there's some rumours flying about right now that they could go back on this timeless children stuff. And we said this in a stream.
Do you remember I spoke about it after Series 12 when we were doing the reviews? I said the only way that this would work is if they did a multiverse. And there is talk now, as you said, Chris Chibnall kind of shot himself in the foot. And this is why people should take notice. Chris Chibnall came out in an interview and said that the Root Doctor wasn't a multiverse doctor. Now
that's starting to rumour about.
That she could well be. This is why the hashtag Save the Root Doctor has been flying about, because they want her to be in the prime timeline. But it looks like now that Chris Chibnall's even going back on what he said, and there could be a multiverse, which would mean then that the timeless children nonsense can belong in that feckin' other timeline and not ruin the doctors that we know from Hartnell to Capaldi. So, you know.
And I'm sorry, if the BBC do that, even if they do something like that the timeless child is no longer the doctor, or they find a workaround, for me, that is a massive sign. Because we all said, like, that whole story idea was meant to make those 12 white males no longer important. That was the whole point of the Timeless Child.
Yeah.
So if the BBC possibly in Series 13, or if it carries on into the specials, I don't know. But if they're possibly reworking that, because it won't be like a complete taking it away, they might be just, like Noel said, it could be Ruth's multiverse, or that the Timeless Child was another version of the Doctor from another universe. That shows that that the BBC have listened, because that wouldn't have happened unless they saw the backlash.
Listen, they are listening. That's the thing. The other side will claim that they're not. They are listening. They have been listening. They even after Series 11, they knew it had gone wrong, right? And there was even talks back then, right? And it carried on. Why do you think we got something different Series 12? He tried to give us more, something that looked more familiar, but it still didn't work out, right? And now again, he's changing for the third time. So, you know, we're getting a serialized version of Series 13 now. There'll be a continual story arc, which we haven't had properly. The thing about Chris Chibnall is he'll start the thread. We thought Moffat was bad, but at least Moffat, you know, it mightn't have always worked out or panned out with Moffat when he was trying to explain something, but at least he did try and explain.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall's whole mantra is he'll start something off, right? And then he won't explain it. Like, he start bringing this nonsense up about that there might be something in Series 11, right? Didn't really do anything much then for Series 12 to reconfirm that. And then we got the Fugitive of the Jadoon, and then we got that rubbish with the Timeless Children. Again, you know, this is Chris Chibnall all over. He never finishes what he starts. Even if you look at the latest festive special that I thought was decent, There's plot holes galore in that, and he doesn't explain. And I guarantee when the series returns, he won't explain those plot holes now that John Barrowman has been targeted. You know what I mean? So they basically told him, look, you can't be doing that anymore. You know, you've got to explain these things. Fans are not stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and whether people out there like it or not, they are listening to fans. They are listening to the British public. You know, they won't say it publicly, but they are, right? And as I said, you know, if you look at what's happening with Series 13, they've already put their foot down. They are willing to change, right? They honestly thought, as we spoke about on this channel, that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall were going to bring this show to a different level. They were going to bring it to not just to us, but to a new era of fans, and it was going to be for everybody. But it didn't pan out like that. It didn't pan out like that. Look at Shelley is asking what's happening. Shelley, if you go back to the start of the video and then come back here, I literally start straight away. I show a few screenshots. Go back and look at the screenshots, and then come back to where we are on this point. So if anybody's just popped in, what I suggest is you go back to the start of the stream after the titles come in. I talk about it very quickly. I don't waste any time. I'll put the screenshots up, have a look, and then come back to the end of this stream then and give you your thoughts if you would like. Because I'm not going to repeat again. I've already repeated 2 times already. So if you want to go back to the start of the stream, please do so, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is a very interesting time. As I said, you know, behind the scenes at the BBC now, they're working and they're looking at their potential candidates now. Obviously, they'll give their candidates a brief. They will then come back with their ideas, and if they're in line with what the BBC want for the show to go forward, then that's who they'll go with. And whether that's a male showrunner or a female showrunner remains to be seen. But Julie Gardner's name, I just got this information while we were streaming, and I was told I'm safe to run with that name. She's one of the names that has been banded about, which I think, you know, the fact that she's worked with Russell T, the best there of Doctor Who, let's be honest, New Who, I should say, you know, it would make sense to bring someone like that back. If you're not going to bring Russell T back himself, then bringing back his second in command would make sense. It would actually make sense. So that's the story, really. And as I said in this stream, I also show you the people that are bullshitting, that have been saying that decisions have already been made. With the tweet that I put up from a highly respected producer and director, that isn't the case. BBC have got in contact with them and told them that the processes have begun, and that they basically, if anything changes or these candidates don't pan out, they'll get back in touch with them. And he said that they were very courteous towards them and all of this. So as I've been saying from day one, all of those YouTubers that have been saying the showrunners in place have been lying to you. When the Council of Geeks information came out, I told you it was bullshit, right? It's panned out that way. It is bullshit. The fact that Radio Times and all these other newspapers actually latched onto it, as I told you, they're trying. They know what's happening behind the scenes. They're not tick, but they're trying to control the narrative here.
Yeah.
Right? And have you noticed as well?
That's what the press has been doing for the past decade.
Exactly. But have you noticed as well, every single woman that they've mentioned to be potential doctor, right? Jodie Comer was mentioned. She's just after recently getting a job. Saran Jones, she's just after getting a job. Michaela Cole is going to be working, right? Yeah. You've got the other actress that's in What If. She was, the people were saying that she was going to be the next doctor. All of these people have other jobs right now, right? Yeah. So, as I said, again, from day one, no showrunner, no doctor is in place yet. BBC are still working on it. And as I said, I don't think a decision will be made until next year. And we won't get an announcement until next year. So that's where I stand on it. I think the evidence anyway kind of backs up what I've said. Anyway, we will see. As I said, if anything does change and we do get the full list of who potential showrunners are, and if a decision has been made, again, we will let you know on this channel when the decision has been made. But for those out there, those YouTubers and those people out there that have been spreading false information, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. These are the very same people that will come out and attack me for saying that I'm putting out lies. Well, yous have put out lies, so yous owe our audience an apology, right? Because yous always say that I should apologize to my audience, even though my information always pans out. You guys now owe those people an apology because you have lied to them all, right? No showrunner, no doctor is in place yet. And that's a fact because it's been... Actually, I'll just show the tweet one more time. Last time I'm showing this tweet, right? But I'll show the tweet from this director, right?
Yeah, Straczynski would be an interesting choice. Even to write an episode, it'd be good. Just to write an episode.
Money, by the way, people saying that money would be an issue in all of this.
If it's come from studios, it wouldn't be.
I don't think with him, that he's put his name forward for him. I don't think money would be an issue. He wants to write for Doctor Who.
Exactly.
So the money wouldn't be an issue there. And then, if the money wasn't an issue with him, this is why I'd probably go with him. Then you could throw all your money into getting the right doctor.
Yeah,
you know,
you got Christopher Frankie do the soundtrack.
Get someone high profile and give them the money that you would have given to the showrunner. You know, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So,
I was thinking right now. Imagine getting Christopher Frankie to do the soundtrack from who did Babylon 5. That'd be amazing. It'd be like the 70s, 80s all over again.
So these are the people that are called out. Right, and there's my tweet there, the 29th of July, by the way. Right, and they said decisions have definitely been made. Perhaps not a verdict, but they have been made. An announcement on Series 13 will follow. Right? An announcement will follow after Series 13. Take it from people who work in the industry, not someone who's been praying. Well, you don't work in the industry. You set up your account literally a few months back. You don't work in the industry. You're another one of these wannabes, right? Then they said that the doctor had been chosen and another showrunner, so they contradict themselves in their first.
They've gone through like 3 different showrunners.
Right? And then another one, right? This is the one then where because Council of Geeks spoke about a consistent and rather plausible rumor. Well, I've already proven that that's wrong. And this is why it's wrong, folks. For anybody that still has doubts that me, Eddie, and others out there lie, this is why they're talking bullshit.
Spin doctoring and clickbaiting, that's what that is.
There you go. There's another one where they say Pete Matig was going to be showrunner, right? They don't know what they're talking about.
He said he was interested, not that he was going to be showrunner.
Yeah, right? So they've picked 3 different people there that I've already showed you. Council of Geeks come out with their rubbish, and then we get this coming up. Hold on. Then we got this. Right? And this puts to bed all the lawyers. And yous are all lawyers. And I've no problem to say, see, this is the thing. That's why people hate me, because I'm harsh. Because I don't shy away from the fact if I think people are lying, I'll call them out for that bullshit. So, J. Michael Straczynski, there you go. I nearly got it right. Says, contact with the BBC has been made. They're going through their own processes, which began before my tweet. Now, he put up a tweet and he put his name forward to be, he said he'd love to showrun, right? And that has run its course. But if those don't pan out and there's a decision to be had, they will reach out. Very courteous, so we'll see where their processes lead. We will see where their processes lead, which means they're still in the process.
Yeah.
Right? So no showrunner, no doctor has been chosen. Right? So all of those people out there that have been telling the audience, you owe your audience an apology, because you keep telling me that I owe my audience an apology. I will turn it on you guys now and say, you owe your audience an apology. You've been lying, sending them up the garden path. And by the way, not only that, these very same people have been plugging female doctors and female showrunners because they have an agenda. That's why they put all these rumors out. They're not getting information from sources. They're not getting information from sources. These are people's wish lists, and they're putting it out as rumor, right? They're putting it out as rumor. Now, if it ends up being a woman doctor and a woman showrunner, I'll let you know. But right now, as I said, no decision is being made. And I was right. Eddie was right. I don't know many times me and Eddie have to be right before people take us seriously.
Yeah.
Right?
Charlotte,
Yeah?
you know when you did your degree, what did you have to do at the end of all your essays and dissertations?
Oh, a little thing called a reference
That's the one.
list.
Yes.
Massive thing.
I really have struggled to. I really struggled.
Do me a favor. I used to just talk there and be back in a minute.
I have to struggle to believe that some of these journalists and clickbaiters actually went to a university.
Well, like Noel was saying, the
College read a
problem
reference.
is,
Yeah.
and like you can see the way some of them are speaking. It's like they even say, "Oh, we want a female showrunner because then, of course, we'll get a female doctor," and that boggles my mind when I see that.
No,
because I'm like, I'm sorry, just because it's a female showrunner does not mean we're going to get a female doctor. It really doesn't.
Exactly.
Because how many, like Julie, like Sally, like, yes, some of them have done shows with female leads, but they've also done shows with male leads.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot, this might be hard to understand, but a lot of women out there are still quite heterosexual.
Well, no, and it's just...
And they do like to have a male in the lead.
Well, no, it's like I said, I think the fact that it's been a constant rumor that we're getting an open-ended regeneration.
Yeah.
That tells me the BBC have not nailed down what they're doing with the Doctor at all.
They haven't.
Because if they were sure, the BBC, that they were going to have another female, for example, they wouldn't film an open-ended.
Halford would be right. They would have made the announcement straight away.
Well, no.
Right then. But this is why.
No, but what I'm saying is the fact that it's now been said a number of times by you, by Eddie, by a few others, that it's an open-ended regeneration.
Yeah.
That it's not a set regeneration, that we know what's coming next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That means they are deliberately keeping their options open.
They are keeping their options open because they have to. They know that they've messed it up. They know that they've given the show to the wrong person. Sure, there's been people even out there that have questioned BBC's decision when they gave Chris Chibnall the job. As Mr. Cartmel said on Eddie's interview, when he heard that Chris Chibnall was getting it, he was baffled by the decision because, yes, he's a great drama writer, but when it comes to sci-fi, he didn't think he was the right choice. Yeah. So, again, look, I can just sit back now and wait for all of this to happen.
Oh, I'd love to see what Cartmel could do with a season.
But I'm going to defend me and Eddie because for the simple fact is we keep getting criticised, we keep getting attacked by these people, and every time we say something, it ends up being true. I don't know how many times we're blue in the face defending ourselves, but I will always defend Eddie, and I'll always defend my sources and Eddie's sources because for the simple fact is they've come through so many times, and these people, as I said. Every person that's putting out rumors out there, they're not rumors, folks. They're their wish list of who they like.
Exactly.
As I said, when Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall, when that announcement would finally come, they and the media would try and control the narrative to make it look like the fans still want a female doctor, the fans still want to bring in a female showrunner and all of this. And this is why you've got all of these articles coming out. Well, BBC are rumoured to be bringing in Sally, or BBC being rumoured to bring in Jodie Comer or whoever it is for the doctor, right? It's their wish list. They haven't got a fucking clue, none of them. And they've been lying to everybody since day one. And I'm pissed off at the media because the media are supposed to have some sort of integrity, but they've already shown over during this era that they have none. They have none. Right.
Look how many times Ollie Alexander had to deny he's not. He's
I know, and he's come out and denied it yet.
3 times. I'm not.
Yet again, Ollie Alexander will not be the Dr. 14.
Yeah,
he won't.
He's denied it like 3 times.
He's a good actor, but he's not Doctor Who material. Let's be real about it. He's not Doctor Who material. I don't think he while he's a good actor, even though he's a certain age as well, he looks younger than what he is, right? He does. And I don't think he would. Matt Smith was great, but I don't think Ollie Alexander would be the right fit for Doctor Who. Just as like those that are saying that Joe Martin. And remember, there are people out there that are saying Joe Martin's going to be the 14th Doctor.
He would rather
That's never going to happen.
He's going back to bleeding Holby City anyway.
Yeah,
so,
she'd rather stick at Holby City, which has got one season left, than go to Doctor Who.
Exactly, because apparently Chris Chibnall let her down anyway.
Yeah,
she kind of had it in her head. This is what I've been told, that she kind of had it in her head that she would become the 14th Doctor after Jodie Whittaker. But then she was told, because of all the nonsense that went on, the fact that they're losing money. I think the BBC have actually gotten cold feet, and Chris Chibnall got cold feet about it. So she's pissed off with them.
Yeah.
So why?
Like she should be.
Yeah.
So I would be as well if she did think that she was going to be the 14th Doctor and it hasn't panned out. Of course I'd be pissed off. Of course you would, and I don't blame her. But still, I'll say this, as I said, and Mega Geek agrees with me on this one. We don't always agree on stuff, but we do agree on this one. That Joe Martin is just not good enough to play the Doctor either. She's not good enough. She's better than Jodie. But she's still not good enough. She's not good enough, and that's the reason why people have been saying, well, I'd rather Joe Martin. But I'm sorry, why settle for someone that's not good enough, right? I know Jodie Whittaker was bad, but you are still settling for someone that's slightly better than Whittaker. She's not good enough. She's not good enough. We need someone to come in that's either a big name or, as Lee had suggested, Lee problem being an unknown. And maybe the actor that he chose would be a very good choice, because he looks doctory. You know, apparently he's a great actor. You know, go with someone like that. But, you know, they might go with, I reckon, right? And this is just me speculating here. This is nothing to do with, but if I was a betting man, I'd probably put me money on a female showrunner and a male Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Right? That's the way I think they'll do it. They'll try to please both sets of fans. And even the Legacy movie that they're talking about, it's David Tennant.
That's a male Doctor, folks. They're going back to male.
But he was popular with all the fans. So they're trying to make populist decisions here. They're trying to make decisions that they know that people will get behind, because they know they fucked up. So don't look, please get behind the hashtag, right? Keep his name in the public domain, right? It's not because we think Michael Sheen will become the 14th Doctor, but it does show BBC that our side, are watching this very carefully, right? And we can give them a bit of a nudge. You know what I mean? They're already making decisions. For people saying, well, they won't listen to fans. Well, I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Series 13 is already changing. As I said, decisions have been made. BBC put their foot down. So they are listening. To a certain extent, anyway, they're listening. You know what I mean? They know they've messed it up. They pander to one side that hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
So what do they do when it doesn't work out? They always look at the other side. They always look at what the British public have to say. Look at the Radio Times poll. They sent a clear message. And by the way, for people out there saying that they wouldn't give a crap about a Radio Times poll, yes, they are. They're looking at everything. Trust me. BBC are watching everything very carefully. They're watching how the fandom is reacting. Right? And this is why we're getting all of these stories coming out with maybe a Legacy movie with David Tennant and stuff like that. Because they want to keep the fans and the British public happy, because the British public aren't happy.
Keep the coffers full for BBC Studios,
Right? So, look, you know, I'll say it, and I'll urge people out there, put your personal differences aside when it comes to me, because I know there's some out there that you are deliberately not following this hashtag because you have a problem with me, because you consider me toxic and all of this, right? You are the ones that decided to walk away from the show. I told everybody from day one when I set this channel up that I'll die on my keyboard defending this show. And I'm here for the long haul. I'm not going to back down. That's what being a fan is. You don't abandon the show when it goes through rough time. That's like, right, for example, I'll give an example, right? That's like Daniel and me, right? I support Manchester United. He supports Celtic, right? Celtic did shit last year, right? Did Daniel abandon Celtic? Did Daniel stop supporting Celtic? No, because Daniel sticks with Celtic because he's a fan. He sticks with them through the good times and the bad times, right? It's the same with Doctor Who, right? I stick with it through the good times and the bad times. Now, I have no problem if people have decided to walk away from the show and don't want it. But I'm sick of all the negative. And I'm not supporting the hashtag. The only hashtag I'm supporting is defund the BBC and all of this rubbish. Right? Just get behind it. Put your personal differences aside. We're trying to send a message here. And you know what? We're in a very unique situation. A situation that we haven't been in before. So I just don't get the logic. And I know people me out there, you know, and I am having a bit of a rant because I'm sorry, because there's been someone out there over the last couple of months, I won't mention who they are, but they've been having digs at me for the last couple of months. Then anytime I put anything up about the hashtag, they're claiming that the fans are gonna be upset and all of this because they're not gonna cast another. You don't know. None of you know.
Future.
Nobody knows, right? But with the information that we have, we can kind of guess already and speculate with stuff. BBC and Series 13 are changing. It's going to be serialized. So as far as I'm concerned, I could see that they're already changing and decisions are being made that will make Series 13 better received than Series 11 and 12. Sorry, Noel, I can't agree that the BBC will pay any attention to fans. They just don't care. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'm sick of this rhetoric as well from people saying they don't care about
You've
fans.
got to realise the BBC is too...
Look at what's happening with Series 13. They do care. It's been serialised. These are things that we've been speaking about for years, right? They've already made decisions. So they have changed and they will change because they know they can't afford to go down this route. So I'm sorry, I'm not having a go at you, but I've seen this type of comment all the time, right? That BBC won't change. They'll go with another, they'll double down. Nobody knows, right? And right now, if they were going to double down, well, then the situation and this issue would have been solved. Because I'll tell you why. They would have went with someone that was a Chris Chibnall man, right?
Yeah.
Or a woman, right? If they were going to continue down the same route. But the whole production team is gone, along with Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. They're gone. So there's a clear out happening, right? So they've already, I'm sorry, I strongly disagree. And with what I've been hearing, indicates that lessons have been learned and they are willing to change. And if you look at what's already being said about Series 13, they are changing. So I'm sorry, I don't agree. I think BBC are going to make the decisions that will financially benefit them, which means then they will obviously make the decisions that we've been crying out about for ages. I'm basing it on past history to be, but this is PDC. This is where.
Sorry, PJ. Sorry, not to interrupt. But PJ, maybe seriously, mate. Seriously, have you seen what happened to Jules Holland recently? There was a major hoo-ha about that because it was put out to tender, and the people they put out to tender screwed it up to high heaven. They brought it back. It's now being filmed at Television Centre with Jules at the front of the show, not some guest.
Exactly.
Do learn from them as they are learning now, because there's all this kind of Hollywood culture is into it. That if you piss people off, you're going to lose money. They're starting to learn. The tide's starting to turn.
And the problem is the BBC is such a big, entity that it can't on a dime change. It has to be gradual. It has to be little chunks. And like I said, look at how. Like I said, I think honestly, if you look at a lot of the stuff around the show right now, look at how the BBC is promoting it. Look at how the licensees are acting. Look at all those things that at the beginning of this era were completely for this. We're completely lock, stop, and barrel with the agenda. Yeah. And they have gradually, throughout this era, all had to go back to what worked before.
Yeah.
They've had to go back to previous
They've
doctors.
had to go back to basics. Yeah.
They've had to go
Exactly.
back to previous monsters. They've
Exactly.
had to go back to even previous storylines.
Exactly.
Time Lord Victorious. That was basically finishing off a storyline from God knows how many years ago.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get we didn't get it as a full complete thing. So they have gradually been looking back, and I just think, considering how strong the rhetoric was at the beginning of this era about how we all remember Whittaker in interviews talking about the white male gaze and all this stuff that was denouncing the past.
Sorry, I have to have a Lee's comment there.
Yeah, that trailer, like, look at how strong it was, that message. But now, that legacy that they've been demeaning for the last couple of years, they have had to go running back to it.
Yeah. They're going to have to go back to basics, especially with their 100th anniversary.
I'm not giving out to anybody. I'm very passionate. My ears on. Basically, my ears are to the ground when it comes to this, right? I've been putting out source information since Series 11, right? I think I know how this all works now because I've been working at it a long time now, right? And I'm telling you now, right? There are changes afoot. And I can understand the hesitation. And don't get me wrong, I do understand the hesitation from some fans thinking that they won't change, that they'll double down. What I'm telling you is now, if you look at the evidence so far, it says something different, completely different. They are willing to change. And they will change because financially they cannot go down this route anymore. They can't. Yeah. If they go down this route again, they kill the show, they kill the revenue, and Doctor Who is gone. It's never coming back. There won't be even a high. What people talk about Hoya, it'll never come back. They'll never resurrect the show because there'll be irreversible damage done. They have an opportunity now, and this is the opportunity, and they're grasping it. They've already put their foot down with Chris Chibnall. We already spoke about them tidying up the timeless children rubbish and all of this other crap. This has been going on for months, right? We've spoken about in detail on the show. We get criticised because we keep talking about Doctor Who, but the reason why we do, because there's so much fascinating information out there. Charlotte has given her opinions over the last few months and a year or something that she's been here, right? Telling and coming up with very good points. Right, you just have to look at the evidence, but I think there's a lot of people out there that are refusing to look at it because they have been hurt by BBC. But you aren't the only one. I've been hurt. Charlotte's been hurt. PD, Lee even, right? Lee had an unknown, right? And he's decided to back this campaign, Sheen for 14, because he understands what it's about, right? And we're trying to send a message, and nobody has anything to lose by supporting it. But people are being petty out there because they don't like me, right? And I won't mention the person, but they're very petty. They need to grow up. They talk about toxic fandom. Well, you're not helping. Not helping at all. Listen, I know you don't take offense. Of course, we're adults. Exactly. We can disagree. And rightly so. Yeah, because that's the way we are. We all have strong opinions and different opinions, PJ. But I'm telling you, mate, if you look at the evidence right now, right, the panel will agree with me. If you look at the evidence right now, it proves to me that BBC are willing to change. And this is something that we should embrace. And this is why I'm asking you to get behind the hashtag. Because we could send a message to the BBC, say, yeah, we agree with the path that you're taking now, but stick at it. Right? That's the point of Michael Sheen. He embodies everything that we envision Doctor Who to be and the Doctor, So, you don't abandon something, as far as I'm concerned, right? And this is just my opinion. People have different, I don't know how the panel feel, but I'm at the ilk that just because your show's gone through a rough time, right? You don't abandon it. You take the good with the bad, right? And this is what I said to you. This is why I decided to watch Series 11 and 12, right? People will argue, now you just did it because you want to argue about Doctor Who. No, right? Yes, okay, to a certain extent, yes, right, I was arguing about because I didn't like the direction it was in. But I support the show, right? I support Doctor Who because I'm a fan of this show. And you don't abandon it when it's gone through a rough time. It was like the 80s, right? It was like the 80s, late. Doctor Who fans were angry with the direction it was going in, but they were still supporting it.
Yeah.
They're still supporting it. And this is why I'm asking you to get past. It's the last roll of the exactly, Lee. I have sent you an email if you want to pop on for a minute. I know you're very busy, but if you have got a few minutes to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. But look, I'm just going to say it out straight. Put your petty differences aside when it comes to me, right? Put your petty differences aside when it comes to BBC. I know they've hurt you, right? They've hurt me too. But the indication and the evidence that I see is they're willing to change. And I do not think for 1 second that they will double down. I don't. I think they will probably go with a female showrunner. But I think I think more than likely we're looking at a male doctor. I'm telling you, I can just see it with everything that we've seen so far.
I really can. I think also it's obviously while the era is still in motion, they can't change everything. They're stuck with Chibnall. They have to have certain things still in there. They can't change Jodie out. They're stuck with her until the contract.
Yeah.
They can't massively change the whole of the arc he was planning, but I honestly do think, and Noel has said this with his sources, that he's had to change it a bit. He's had to make some sort of tweaks.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you look at just the way the BBC is acting right now,
yeah,
they are not being reactionary, which I think is interesting. They're not. They're waiting.
Yeah.
That shows that there's a plan, that they're thinking about something beyond just instant gratification, because that's what they could have done. They could have, with Chibnall going, they could have said, right, we'll just go for the easy pick next, or we'll go for the next trendy pick. That's what they could have done, because that's what we've had an era of, let's be honest. It's all been reactionary. It's all been trying to follow the trend, trying to look good for certain politics. So the fact that they've not done that and they've not gone straight to the next thing, they are giving themselves time, like we've said. They're not putting themselves out, they're just saying a new generation. And like another big thing is that, like Noel said, they're not hanging on to any of the production by the looks of it team. They're letting them all go. That is that, and what we've all been saying for years, we needed a cleaning of house. And I'm sorry, with Stevens going with Chibnall, for me that means cleaning of house.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, I will say this, that people argue, well, even if you get rid of them, you still have Piers Wenger involved, right? Well, you should actually look at the last couple of seasons of Doctor Who, because Matt Stevens, not the Whittaker era, but the eras before, Matt Stevens and Piers Wenger actually had a hand in those, which is quite baffling, really, when you see what has come with this. So even Piers Wenger himself knows now that something has to change. And PJ, I know you're a classic fan, right? So I know you're set in your ways, and it's you're too old to change. I get where you're coming from, but there are people out there that have supported this new era of Doctor Who since 2005. They're the people that I'm reaching out to. I know where you stand. You've made it very clear, and I understand where you come from because you came on and you explained where you stood. So I understand where you're coming from. But for the other people that have been supporting New Who, now that they're Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall are gone, and the rest of them are gone, they've decided that they're just gonna turn their backs on it. This is the time to get behind it now.
Exactly.
This is the time to fucking have your voices be heard. But people, do you know what I think has happened here? I think people are so bitter and so angry with the BBC that no matter what they do, they want the show to die. That's what they want. So then they can go on then and bitch about it then for the next couple of years, right? Well, I don't want to do that. I want to see a Doctor Who that's successful, that I can come on this channel with a panel and say, oh my God, you just have to watch the latest episode of Doctor Who. It was mind-blowing, right? I don't want to continue to do all the negative reviews. I've never wanted to do that even since the Jodie Whittaker era began. And yes, okay, I went into Series 11 and I had made up my mind already. But Series 12 reviews, look, I was more balanced with my reviews anyway, right? So I've already changed the way I do things because I want Doctor Who to be a success. And for people out there, you know, that say, well, let it die. Well, she's not want the show around. She's not wanted to be a success because this is the chance now. We've got a real opportunity to say something here. But I'm going to bring on my next guest because Tim actually did say, there's other guests on the panel. You're right, mate. But when I get wound up, when I get excited, you know, and the panel do realise, you know, they do, you know, I do get like that. But you're right. So I'll bring on my next guest, and this is going to be very interesting now because poor Charlotte and PD are not going to get a word in edgeways. I'm only messing. But let's bring on our next guest. And as I said, he's went beyond for the hashtag, for the campaign. And remember, this guy wanted an unknown. And the fact that he can see where I'm coming from with this, and Eddie is coming from with this. Remember, Eddie started the hashtag. I've obviously been pushing it the most on it. And Lee then has gotten behind that and helped me with this. But I'm not. But this is the thing. I'm under no illusion, by the way. Even though the evidence shows that they are changing. They might get cold feet, and they could go with another female doctor, right? And double down, triple down, as people say. But right now, I have to believe with everything that I've seen that may not be the case. And as I said, this is the only opportunity because they're not listening to the other side. They're not. And I'm telling you now, they're not. They've been pandering to them for ages. They've had enough now. But let's bring on our next guest.
Hello.
Probably. Welcome.
Now, yes. I'm going to put my Goebbels hat on here and say, look, you know, I probably not, but you know, as head of propaganda, you know, I just have to say, look, you know, I can speak for some of us here, you know, of a certain age, who are, you know, plus 40, right? Okay.
That way.
classic Who diehards, clearly. I think we all mostly are, I mean, apart from obviously Charlotte here is as young as a spring chicken, and you. But I will say, you know, like, you know, even through most of the classic Who era, not the classic Who, the new Who era, I've always had a bit more of a hankering for more of the classic edge, you know, and I thought really we're heading that way with Capaldi, and that didn't really turn out as expected. I mean, there were some throwbacks, but I mean, I don't want it to be something stuck in a time loop, you know, something that just is doesn't move forward. Obviously, we want the show to evolve. The show has change in it. It's not about change, like we've been told, like a mantra for the last, God knows, 4 years. It has change in it, and that's fine. We're not afraid of that. But it has to be within the bounds of reason and logic and creative sense. It has to follow the canon, and the canon can change, it can evolve, but you shouldn't go and rewrite it. And I think the BBC must understand that. You know, you can be bold, but there is a remit and a limit to that, and that limit is sanity, basically, right? I mean, you can't take something, turn a Mercedes Benz into a bog brush, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow through. Now, with the whole hashtag thing, I understand people are demoralized. This was the whole purpose of doing what they did. They wanted to demoralize the old guard. They wanted to bring in the new audience. They got in the new audience, but just not the numbers that they were hoping for. And they turned out to be a fucking nightmare. And we must remember that. You know, be careful what you wish for, BBC. You got what you wanted, and it wasn't enough. And they were a pain in the ass, more than us, frankly. And they will never be happy. I mean, we will be happy. It doesn't take an awful lot to make us happy.
We might not be happy, but we'll be satisfied, at least.
Yeah, and we just want good Doctor Who.
That's it.
Not this show. And I don't think it's that. Listen, right? We all know right? And the BBC knows this. I'm absolutely certain that this is make or break. With the increase of defund the BBC hashtags, an increase in the number of RIP Doctor Who, the complete collapse of the viewing figures for the TV show, even the trailers for each new
Nobody
series
cares.
has halved and halved and halved again.
Yeah.
So it's undeniable. The BBC must understand that this is the last chance saloon. You've got a bunch of fans who've been loyal to the show for decades, who are generationally bringing in the next audience without any artificial help from a new fanatical arm of the BBC that wants to bring in a new audience. The new audience will always be there because the history of the show proves that, right?
Exactly.
Parents raise their kids to watch Doctor Who. Those kids grow up to raise their kids to watch Doctor Who, and so on and so forth. That's how it's always been propagated. And that's how it should be. It's a family show. That's how you don't bring in ideologues who then squat and intellectually colonialize the entire show. So this has been a demoralization process by a certain faction within the BBC. I am hoping that within the BBC there is an attempt to understand this and to correct that. I can't speak to that. We can only hope. Hope is not a strategy, but what we can do is counter that demoralization program that has been set in place. The fact that people are still saying, "Oh, it's too late, it's over, the show's dead, I'm moving on." I understand that, but that's all part and parcel. This is them winning, right? This is what they wanted. They wanted to get rid of you.
Exactly.
But we are a persistent state.
Yeah,
right?
but I want to add something though. Yeah, those people that you talk about. Well, see, this is the thing though. They keep talking about Doctor Who. So if the show is dead and you have no interest in it anymore, why do you keep talking about it? Why do you keep writing stuff up about it if the show is dead and you have no interest?
Well, this is it.
People like me, Lee, and others who are trying to do something positive in the fandom and trying to make BBC aware that they have made mistakes, and we want to, and the things that we're hearing, that yes, we do want them to go down this route. We do want good Doctor Who, and it should be encouraged. But again, I'll say it, if you think Doctor Who is dead and stuff like that, why are you still talking about it? Don't be talking about it then. If the show is dead to you and it doesn't exist and you only watch it up to Peter Capaldi, fine. But keep your opinions to yourself. Let the rest of us do what we want.
No. All opinions are valid. No one should be. Listen, this was the problem that we experienced when we first came out in dissent on this era, and we were told to get out of the fandom, told to shut up, told to go away. No one should be told to go away or shut up ever.
No,
but what I will say, But what I will say is, if you just think about this, okay, and I urge you to think about this, right? I am under no illusions that things are going to change, but there is a chance. And whilst there's a chance, there is hope. And hope is not a strategy, as we know, but it's still there.
Exactly.
Right? Now, I would say to you, however bleak things are and however much we suspect that they'll double down, triple down, etc., they do that. The show is finished. It's over. I mean, we're saying it's over now because of the demoralization and because they haven't listened to us in the past, or at least overtly, right? We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But the fact that there are leaks is a sign that there are people within the BBC who do want change. Now, I would say that the BBC has everything to lose.
Yeah.
We have nothing left to lose.
Exactly.
And once we have nothing left to lose, that puts us in a much stronger position, because we can bang our pots and bang our drums and shout the loudest now. We can do that. You saw the reaction when Jodie and Chibnall announced they were leaving. On Twitter, It was huge. It was such an uproar of yay! Oh my God, it was the end of the Return of the Jedi. It was all people dancing on Endor Moon and stuff, right? It was all that kind of stuff. So we know that we have a voice there. Now, we need to understand that. That is a powerful thing. I think that sent a few shockwaves out because they were expecting.
Yeah, because and like I said, just the look, and also, do you know what I think was important about that? And Noel noticed this. He that people who had been silenced during this era were having their voices again.
Yep, 100%.
That is power. That is showing that for all the trying to demoralize us, trying to tell us to get out of fandom.
Exactly.
Some fans probably had to go quiet, but as soon as they saw Chibnall and Whittaker out,
it was safe.
They started to talk again.
They came out and celebrated. They felt like they could come out and have their voices to be heard for the first time in a good few years.
Because they've been intimidated into silence. The reason why that vocal minority on Twitter particularly got their way for so long was because of their aggressive, violent antagonism towards anyone who dissented. When you have a 3,000 strong hate mob designed to target individuals for daring to speak their mind and to hound them off Twitter, to hound them into silence, that was an intimidation by a bunch of fanatics, right? Who destroyed this fandom because of their own fragility and their inability to conceive that anyone can think differently to their hive-mindedness. And unfortunately, Doctor Who has always been about dissent. It's always been about the rebel. It's always been about the person who stands up to tyranny.
Yeah.
You were the very fucking thing that you claim to hate. You were the very fucking definition of tyranny. You silenced people, you threatened people, you humiliated people, and you put them into check. And that is not acceptable by any. That is Maoist bullshit right there.
By the way, calm down for a minute. I know you're as passionate as I am, right? But
I'm just getting started, right? I just want to finish my point.
No, but this is important. It adds to what you're saying, and then you can continue. I swear, I'm not going to go on a big mad thing here.
Yes, you will.
But no, look at what's happened. Look what's happened recently now with all the toxic behavior being shown, right? Look at the way that side of the fandom now is. They're in peril right now because now they're all coming out with, I didn't know this person was like this, that, and the other. While me, Lee, and others were showing them for over 2-3 years of all of this behavior. Right now, they're all backtracked. Listen, BBC is not going to listen to those small minority anymore. They know that they can't, and as Lee said, they can't afford it. Now, Lee, go ahead.
Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. All right, stop. Okay. So really, look, I understand. Right, it's fresh. It's an open wound. It's been intimidation after intimidation and trolling and threats and all sorts of things, name calling and bullshit. I think this is the precipice of change that that new old guard is dead. It's over, right? That is over. They're gonna try and galvanize. I just don't think the will is there. And it's not a triumphalist thing. I am not here to gloat, right? I don't care anymore. We've dealt with that. We're still here. They're still here, but they're a lot fucking quieter and a lot more, disparate, I'd say. And listen, I don't want anyone to feel that they are not welcome in this fandom as long as you understand and you learn that you can't keep treating people as subhuman or the other or all of this. Listen, we're all here because we love the show. But I will urge you, if your entire raison d'etre is to change every fucking aspect of the show to suit your personal beliefs, you're not giving over. You're not being selfless like the Doctor would be to allow other people to enjoy it for what it should be and what it really, really is. If you love the show, let it be what it's supposed to be. Not try and contrive it to something that fits your current day narrative. It's a trend. It's a fashion. It will change, right? And because it's changing away from what you think it is, you're complaining about it. Yet for the last year and a half, you've been telling us the show's all about change. Except when it doesn't go the way you want it to, then all of a sudden it shouldn't change. I mean, it's remarkable to me. But I will say, as I said before, this is the BBC's last chance to get this right. Otherwise, it is toast, completely toast. And it's very close to that already. And we've yet to see what this next series will do. But I hope they've taken something on board. And I will say to people who've been demoralized for this long, and even fans of the classic era who haven't really caught on with the new era as much, this is a chance to bring back something of Doctor Who again. Like, we've been literally without Doctor Who now for 4 years, basically. Yeah. That's how we feel, right?
Yeah.
We have nothing to lose. Exactly. It's a hashtag. It takes you 2 seconds. Type it in, boosh. It's done. It's out there. That's all you have to do. I'm not asking you to commit to weeks and months of campaigning or writing letters or email. Just a hashtag, simple hashtag.
Exactly.
That's it. Type it in, press enter, biff, done. It's gone. Doosh. Do that once or twice a day, once a week. Who knows? Who cares? Just something. It's going to cost you nothing. Even if your heart's not in it, what have you got to lose?
Exactly.
What have we got to lose?
Yeah.
Exactly. And listen, again, I will say this, we're all hurting. We've been hurting ever since this era began. And there is a lot of bitterness. There is a lot of anger. But as Lee has said, there is absolutely nothing to lose. We're in a unique position that we haven't been in a few years. The other side now are demoralized because their doctor is gone. Basically, their ammunition is gone to attack fans. And that's what it is. And that's the way you should look at it. Their ammunition now, Jodie and Chris, they can't use that against people now. And as Lee has said, the other side has gone very, very quiet all of a sudden. Because they can't come back. They can't come at any of us. I thought they would now. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a few out there that have tried, but look, they've messed it up for all people now. There's a police investigation now, and that'll hopefully result in some charges being put forward to some of these vile creatures that were in our fandom. But they're not being listened to anymore. So we're in a situation that we've never been in the whole of this era. The first chance that we've got to actually have our voice be heard. And as Charlotte made the point, and I made this point as well, I was seeing a lot of fans that haven't spoken up in years. I've seen it on Facebook and Twitter that all of a sudden were speaking up, had their voices again. So I'm telling you now, BBC cannot afford to mess this up this time round.
It really is. The last time.
It is. You're right, Lee.
I think as well, and I was chatting with Dan about this actually from this Facebook. I think we forgot that we were always the majority in this fandom.
Yeah.
The fans that just wanted
Twitter is not the majority.
That Twitter just wanted to watch these stories and be taken on an adventure. That's the majority of the fandom. And because a small minority were making so much noise, we thought they were bigger.
And I'll just want to add to that, Charlotte. I just want to add to that. As I said earlier, the reason why the voices on Twitter were the loudest on that side was because they used intimidation to silence anyone from speaking their mind. And the BBC must and needs to understand that there were people intimidated to shut the fuck up because they were afraid. Like I've said, when I used Facebook after 5 episodes into series 11, I dared to form an opinion which wasn't in line with theirs. I wasn't rude. I just criticized the show like I did under Moffat. I even wrote off a public letter to Mark Gatiss to say, please take over from Moffat. This is, I think it was after Into the Dalek. I was absolutely fucking mortified. And that's what we do, but, we're passionate fans, but we don't want to be here hating on the BBC 24. We don't. We love the BBC. We want it to be what it should be. We want Doctor Who to be what it should be. We want to see more comedy on the BBC that isn't fucking afraid to be funny, right? All this kind of stuff. That's all we want. And the general public are 100% behind that. People on Twitter use silence and intimidation. I was told on that Facebook group to die of cancer because I dared to say something that was against the narrative. I was
You were
chased
told-
out of that group and into my DMs for it.
You were also told to jump
And that's
off
what
the
goes
bridge.
on all the time.
I
All
was
the
told-
time.
Yeah, I was told, I hope you die in a car crash. You were told you hope you fall off a bridge or throw yourself off a bridge. But I do want to address one.
And that's your new fandom right there, BBC. Is that really what you want? Because if they're going to do that to us, if you don't appease them, they're going to come after you twice as hard as any of the rest of us.
Now, in
And
fairness, there is a
much
comment
Yeah,
that I'm
look,
seeing
yeah.
of is people saying that they're sick of the fandom. Well, I just want to add something to that. I don't know why people are sick of the fandom, because the fans of Doctor Who have been defending themselves against these people. It should be those people that you're sick of, not the fandom. The fandom has defended Doctor Who's defended its legacy. And again, you know, when you get people out there writing nonsense, you know, other people then start picking up on that and start listening to those people. It's not the fandom's fault, right? These people come into our fandom and start attacking long-term fans. So I don't know why all of this is like being thrown on the fan. I'm sick of the fandom. It's not the fandom's fault. The fandom defended this show. The fandom has fought tooth and nail for this show. And the reason why is because they've been attacked by non-fans. So the fandom hasn't actually done anything wrong. So again, you know, I've seen other people write other stuff, right? And this is why some people are saying they're sick of the fandom. It's nothing to do with the fandom. The fandom has always defended this show.
Things
the
are
fandom has
latching
always
onto the
come out
fandom.
and given honest critique of this era. And it's been the non-fans and the Jodie Whittaker fans, that the toxic ones, I will say, that have attacked those fans. So it's not the fandom. Nobody should be sick of the fandom, right? They should be sick of the J-bots and the toxic Whittaker fans that have been attacking the fandom. So again, you know, and again, I'll call out the Not My Doctors as well. They've also added to it as well by attacking these kids, and then it's blown up into. But it's not the fandom. The people that support Doctor Who, that have watched it throughout their childhood, they're not the ones that are causing the problems in the fandom, right?
And you watch those a lot of those Jodie fans, even those who belong to that Not My Doctor crowd. A lot of them, over a certain period of time, have softened their views. A lot of them have come out criticizing Chibnall, which they never did at the start. They barely ever did. And then it's like, and then Jodie really didn't do this or couldn't, and they're couching it under she didn't get a chance. She had every fucking chance, by the way. But I mean, the narrative has been softening and changing, and as they sort of distance, and I think it's because a lot of them wanted to conform to what their friends were saying, and you know, because peer pressure is such a, like, especially at that younger age, is very intense, especially much more so now on social media. And a lot of them probably don't have their heart in it, but they got swept along with it because they were radicalized by this thing.
So the fandom isn't the problem here, and I'm going to make that clear. Fandom has never been a problem here. It's been outsiders that BBC tried to pander to try to get into our fandom that have caused all these problems.
Yeah.
All fans have ever done, whether long-term fans or fans of since 2005, all they've ever done is defend this show, defend the legacy, defend the Doctors, William Hartnell in particular, when they tried to change the narrative of that. That's it. It's not fans' fault. And I'm you know, I'm actually kind of sick and tired of this rhetoric that it's fans' fault. It's not fans' fault. Fans have been attacked from day one since these new fans here. I remember having a conversation with Ben Cook, and do you know what he said? I turned around and said there needs to be a discussion about Jodie Whittaker's Doctor and the fact that they cast him. But do you know what he turned around and said? He turned around and said to me, the discussion was already had and it's over. There was no discussion had.
No discussion.
No discussion had. Because as soon as we tried to give our valid points of the reason why it wouldn't work with Jodie Whittaker or a woman, we were shut down straight away. So I'm sick of this rhetoric out there that people are blaming fans. This is not fans' fault. This is
there are certain gatekeepers at the top of the pyramid. Like you've got certain writers, you've got certain members of the Doctor Who magazine, most of whom have gone, thank God, who acted as gatekeepers, and they were the ones giving their tacit consent to these crazy elements of this so-called fandom.
Yeah,
who
and
squatted
they're
in
on
it.
the audacity of calling us the gatekeepers as well.
Yeah, well, exactly. All of this
That's
is about
hypocrisy.
gaslighting and projection, right?
Exactly.
And to silence people. And this is what they did. I mean, come on. Not anyone on our side of this argument set up a group of 3,000 members.
Exactly.
And 3,000 is a small number compared to the audience
I think
viewing
some
figures,
people
right?
out
Bear
there
that in mind.
have
But they
forgotten.
use
that,
intimidation, mockery, humiliation, every trick under the sun to shame people and to force people into being acquiescent and silent.
Right. Do me a
I'm
favour,
sorry,
Alex.
that was backed by people within Doctor Who magazine. That was backed by some of the writers on the Doctor Who writing team and other members within the BBC. I'm not saying the entire BBC, but the BBC, I have to say, could have stepped in and reminded the fandom to be kind, to be more like the Doctor, but it didn't happen. There was absolute silence. And
Hold on now, Charlotte needs to go, so she said.
Oh, Charlotte, you had some points. I interrupted.
A chance to plug. So Charlotte, plug the channel, your channel, Daniel's channel.
Yeah, well, me and Daniel are live tonight at 7 with our Line of Duty.
Grand.
And because from a personal stance, please support DW 2012 because they have done so many of us a massive favour.
They have.
Absolutely. Yeah, go and check out their channel
please go and support them.
And their Doctor Who.
And by the way, I've already noticed that it's settled down. So Daniel, I don't think you'll have to worry about any trolls now, mate, because they're all running scared. So enjoy our stream tonight. You should have no problems. I'll certainly pop in and make sure there isn't. But just do what I've done. I've put the channel on the chat on slow mode for the time being. But because there's an active police file sent now, these people are throwing each other under the bus. The amount of DMs that me and Lee have been receiving, people blaming other people, is bleeding gas. But listen,
I have blocked a ton
I
of
don't
people.
think you'll have any problems anymore. So you keep doing your line of duty and stuff like that, and I hope it goes well tonight. But you should be okay. I can't deal with the grief of the activists anymore. I have to walk away. Listen, I understand where you're coming from, Daniel. But as I said, don't
let the bastards grind you down. Charlotte's gone.
There is
Take
nothing
care,
to lose.
Okay. Right, Charlotte.
There is nothing to lose, but look, if you've made the decision that you won't get behind this campaign, that's fair.
To the BBC, who might be listening, just in case you are listening, the fact that this 3,000 strong hate mob instigated, created an atmosphere that led to Noel's wife being rape shamed, a disabled YouTuber being mocked for being wheelchair bound. If you find that you want to side with those very people who instigated and created this atmosphere that made this happen, then that's what you're going to get, right? And we are not going to tolerate it for another year more.
Exactly.
So we've dealt with this long enough. And if you find that is acceptable, then shame on you. And I hope to God that you change, because this is not acceptable. That someone should be driven off from doing what they love, talking about something that they love.
Especially from a public broadcaster. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
by the way,
disgraceful.
apparently, Lee, you've got a DM, so go and check, because it's a couple of times Alison has tried to get your attention.
Brilliant. Oh, hello, Alison. Yeah, I'll check that now. Thank you.
So you go and check that while I talk. But listen, Doctor Who,
Haven't we all, Cardbridge? Haven't we all?
fandom has been through a lot, right? But it's not the fans' fault. It's outsiders that have made it difficult.
Yeah.
As Lee has pointed out, if you've got a 3,000 strong mob, that's only goal is to bully me, Lee, Daniel, and others out there. And if BBC continue to pander to these people, well then, look, as I said, they've only got one chance with me now to get it right. Same with Lee and a lot of Doctor Who fans here. If they get it wrong and they do double down, well, we're gone. I'm never reviewing Doctor Who again. I'm finished. Series 13 and the specials will be my last. I will never review any more new who until they cop on and make the decisions that are necessary to make this show a success again. And to make this show a success again, all we want is them to write decent Doctor Who and to cast the right people based on their talent. Nothing else. Just base it on their talent. And if they're good enough, fine. We will get behind the show if it proves to us that they are willing to change. But again, Lee made the point, and I will say this, we are under no illusions right now that it could go either way, right? But as Lee pointed out also, this is a unique opportunity that we are never going to have again because they're not listening to the other side. They've become the demoralized side now because, as I said, their weapons that they use in Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall, they're leaving now. So they'll have no more sexist crap to throw at us or any of this other rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So that's why they've become very silent now. But they tried, now they're trying, their new thing is to try and control the narrative. And this is why you're seeing a lot of these YouTubers come out and say, oh, they're casting a woman as the Doctor, they're casting this, that, and the other. And as I've already shown today, no decisions have been made. None. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I just want to make it clear, I'm under no illusions here, right? But we do have a unique opportunity, and I am going to grasp it and take it by both hands because, you know, yeah, as I said, I will fight tooth and nail for this show, and this will be the last time. You know, obviously, if you go the other way, then I'm done. But it's the least I could say that I tried. It's the least with others we tried to get our points of view across. I'm sick of being ignored by the BBC, like a lot of yous. But as I said, this is a unique opportunity. And Shelley did ask in the chat. She did bring up some Reddit rumors. The Reddit rumors are bullshit because we already spoke about the fact that there was no doctor or showrunner actually in place. We said this months ago. And now the Reddit leaks, because the new information has come out today, of course they're going to change. Of course they're going to change because they don't know what they're talking about. All those Reddit leaks, as I told you from day one, and those YouTubers that are coming out and reporting on them, right? They're talking bull. No decisions on a showrunner or a doctor have been made yet. And, you know, they've been lying. These people on their YouTube channels have been lying to people. And you know, I call it out because, as I said, I'm in the know. People might say that I'm not, but I think my sources have proved time and time again that they are in the know. And, you know, we'll continue to as long as no decision has been made, we still have a voice, and I'm going to use that. So for people that are willing to use the hashtag, I would ask you to do so.
Nothing to lose. Just remember that. That's the key words. Nothing to lose. You don't have to get your hopes up. You don't have to believe in 100%. Go through the motions. Nothing to lose. And who knows? Do that. Expect nothing, and then you won't be disappointed. But you can only be pleasantly surprised if something does happen. Listen, I put aside my own personal choice.
Exactly, you did.
Because it's about an archetype, right? This is about using an archetype, and ideally, that would be great to have someone like Michael Sheen, especially Michael Sheen himself.
Daniel,
if not something close to, but I mean, I'd love it. I think it would be fantastic.
Daniel, I will say this to you, right? I understand where you're coming from, but I will add the point just to see if I can convince you one more time. And if you decide not to, that's fine, fair enough. But I will say this, now that this police investigation is happening, I don't think you will be trolled anymore. And in fairness, I don't think that you should be made feel like you can't get behind this hashtag because of certain attacks out there and certain people saying stuff. You know, I don't think you will be troubled. But look, if you do decide that you still don't want to back it, I respect your decision. But I think it is sad that the fact that you feel this way because of what these people have done. But I will say, I had a stream last night and there was no trolls. So they're running. Trust me. I don't think you will be trolled. But look, if I respect your decision, you don't want to get behind it, that's fine. But I think this will be the time now because these kids are running. There's an active police investigation, and I don't think they will troll you, to be quite honest with you. And don't get me wrong, I know it's broke you. It's broke me. It's broke Lee. It's broke Bolstrek. It's broke Gary. All of this constant.
We either hang together or we hang separate. And I think that we should be defiant. We should do what we want to do because we love to do it. We should never feel pressured offline, and we've all got each other's backs.
Yes.
And remember
and
that.
You in the private message, I will always have your back no matter what you decide, right? I'll have Charlotte's back as well. I'll have Lee's back. But this is what we do as a community. We have each other's backs, and I'll always do that no matter what, right? Because you're, as I said to you in a private message, you're like a brother to me, right? You're one of the nicest, sweetest people that we have in this community. And listen, we've all been through what you've been through, but we're on the last lap, you might as well say. But look, if you want to step away, that's fine. But then, like, I see you're supporting the lads that are being trolled. You know what I mean? So on one hand, you're saying you won't get behind the camera because you're afraid of being trolled, but then you're supporting the people that have been trolled. That would set you up to have a target on your back. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think you are going to be trolled anymore because these people are running. They're running scared, mate. They're running scared because they didn't believe that someone out there would actually go to the police. And you know what happened? They messed with the wrong people.
Yep.
They messed with the wrong people. They messed with their own side. So now they're running. I wasn't trolled. I did 2 streams last night and I wasn't trolled. They're running. I had people coming in and actually apologizing, even like Andrew Jones today trying to apologize. But I'm not accepting his apology because he's apologized so many bleeding times now that it's actually a joke, right? And he puts up a super chat, right? And then he takes the super chat away from you. So that's why I ask people to block him. I don't want any of that nonsense. I don't want people like him around. They shouldn't be part of this fandom anyway because they helped put us in a position where we felt like we had to come out and defend ourselves all the time. And it's people like him that should be ignored. And that's why he was blocked. But look, it's up to people. As someone said, fool me once, shame on me. I don't know what you're going to say. Fool me. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
Fool
you're
me
not.
twice, shame on me. That's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
But I don't think. I think BBC have already indicated, if you look at the evidence, that they are willing to change. And as I said, I don't think they can afford to.
Well, I say if they choose to ignore it, I will continue to bang the drum to say, well, you've supported an era that inspired intense bullying, harassment, trolling, mockery of people's sexuality, of disability, of every, all rape. I mean, this whole thing was created and tacitly ignored by the powers that be and supported by the powers that be, whether overtly or not. Whether they were fully compos mentis of it or not, the fact is they allowed this to breed, right? They allowed this atmosphere to continue unabated because of that fragile about their mistakes. And that was a mistake. What they, the way they mishandled all of this was a terrible mistake. And listen, we much prefer people admit it rather than trying to cover it up and create bluster and all this double newspeak and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the propaganda. We just want things fixed. We're not interested in apologies. We just want correction, and we just want to be heard. And I'm sorry, if you're siding with people who want to intimidate people into silence, you are not the good guys. Sorry.
Exactly.
The fact that Daniel here has been intimidated to such a degree like that is not acceptable, and the BBC needs to be held to account for allowing this to breed and to spread, and this intimidation process to go on, and for them to side and to tacitly support the people who have instigated this. And bearing in mind, remember that Tom Vance was that close to getting in with that crowd, right? With the elite, because of this personality cult, and then look what happened. So I would urge them. These people, and that it's all within my 835 screenshot folder of all the harassment and abuses by these people. And I'm going through it the other night was harrowing almost, because it was just like too much, and that was going on for 2 years, solid. Right, and the BBC and people like that, and the Doctor Who magazine, and they need to really look at themselves and what they created. They created a Frankenstein's monster within this community. They instilled fear. Maoist struggle session online was, in support of this era. That you can't possibly claim moral superiority when you're using tactics that chase people who have disabilities off of their YouTube channels, women, for the way that they look, or the way that the trolls want to
This is what you should stand
look like. For people whose sexuality they want to mock, people whose wives have been sexually abused. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but you can't claim any high ground whatsoever. Exactly. We've been called everything under the sun, yet they've done damn sight worse than anything any of us have ever said or done. I'm sorry, but that's the fact.
Listen, here's the thing. We've all been demoralized. We've all been bullied to the point where, obviously, I had a bit of a breakdown. There's other YouTubers that we know behind the scenes also, the same thing happened to them. They had a bit of a breakdown. I know this has been tough on everybody. I'm under no illusion that this is the most horrific thing that's probably happened to fans out there. The constant attacks, the constant allegations, the constant, picking,
slander, libel.
Yeah, libel, the stuff. But look, we're at the home straight. Yeah. And again, I will say to people out there, look, I do understand if you don't want to support the hashtag, but
I don't understand it. It takes 2 seconds to type it in. I know it does, but
there is a little bit of understanding. I can understand it.
If you don't believe it.
For those that have, but then have changed their mind because they're being bullied, right? I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Right, as I said, the police now have gotten involved, and what we've been seeing, and I had 3 streams last night, and I wasn't trolled during those 3 streams. And if people remember, me, Daniel, and others over the past few weeks have been trolled intensely by these kids. Now all of a sudden they're backtracking, they're pointing the finger at each other because they know now the net is closing in on them, right? They've been exposed. They fucked with the wrong people, right? And these people, because they're the popular side of the fandom, are getting support now from the ones that have been attacking us. But I will say, for those claiming that they didn't know that this was going on, me and Lee were tagging some of these people into all of this information and showing them for over 2 years, and they chose to ignore it. But when it happens to one of their own, that's when they decide to take action, and that's the hypocrisy there. But it's at least now it's getting sorted, right? So I don't think the trolling is going to continue now, because these kids, because they know we're taking the screenshots, they know they're going to be handed over, so they're not going to do it.
They have been handed over.
So listen, you said you'll think about it. Go and think about it. Enjoy your stream tonight. If you don't get trolled tonight, I honestly think that you should back it, because you were enthusiastic about it. You wanted to back it, and I don't think anybody should make you feel like that you shouldn't have to back it, right? You wanted to back it because you believe in what we're trying to do here. Don't let anybody bully you or change your mind about supporting this. Now, as I said, you've got a stream tonight. Go and do your stream tonight. See how it pans out. And if none of these trolls come anywhere near you, I would say to you and plead with you to still get behind this, because we're trying to send a message, and that's it. And as Lee said, it only takes 2 seconds to put a bleeding hashtag up. It's not. You know what I mean? To a certain
nothing to lose. Just remember, nothing to lose. You don't have to believe in it. You don't
understand where people are coming from. To a certain extent, I do. I know people have been hurt. I know people are upset. I know people are bitter towards the BBC, right?
That was
I
the
can
whole
get it
point,
to a certain
demoralise
extent,
you.
but then I will add, even though you feel like that, and you do feel the show is dead, or you do feel the fandom is dead, or whatever, right? We have a unique opportunity, and you have nothing to lose by just. There you go. I've put the hashtag up already, right? It literally takes a second. There you go. Look, hashtag shit for 14. It's up, right? That's how quick it is, right? It doesn't take an hour. It doesn't take fucking days. It takes a couple of seconds to throw up a hashtag. That's it.
And don't forget, you got my title sequence. It's on my
Exactly.
other account.
We will be organising the day.
It's pinned to my profile. If you're on Twitter, all you have to do is go to my profile, share my video. You know, I spent ages on that, so it would be nice to have some friendly support. You get out there, you just retweet that with the hashtag. That's it. Just all you need
just to remind everybody what Lee is talking about. If you're new to the channel or you've only popped in and you haven't seen this yet, this is what Lee put together for the campaign, and it would be a shame and a waste if people didn't get behind this.
It's already got nearly 1,200 plays. It was like 900 something yesterday, so that's doing crazy. So
here it is in all its glory. Once again, Lee's video for hashtag Shane for 14. I'm waiting you to check this out. And if this doesn't get the juices flowing, right? And the whole point of him doing this titles was to show us what we've been missing. And I tell you, he has stored up a lot of emotion with this. People were telling me that they were getting very emotional watching this, right? So if this doesn't store something up in you, well, then maybe you are right to walk away from the fandom. But my problem is that you just don't want to walk away. You just have to keep talking about and being negative about this. There's no, you know what I mean? Let us do what we want to do. If you don't agree with it, that's fine, fair enough. I get that. But don't ruin it for other people that do want to.
Well, I'd urge you just to reconsider. Yeah, I mean, it's very, look, we've all been demoralized, but when we start demoralizing each other and saying it's no good, that's demoralizing us as well. And I would just think maybe just tweak that attitude a little bit. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm asking, imploring you to kind of rethink that and maybe just, I mean, what have you got to lose? Listen, we understand. We all feel the same way, but just do it. Just please. Just
as Nike would say, just do it. But here it is in all its glory.
Why not?
Here we go.
I will say that if you actually go onto the my channel, Ordered Audio Visual, and watch it there, it's less pixelated. For some reason, StreamYard makes it worse. It's in 4K on my channel. If you've got 4K.
But this is the thing. If they've watched the stream on the YouTube channel, it comes in the proper quality on the YouTube channel. It is weird that StreamYard do kind of. See, we can only see it on StreamYard, but if people are watching us, they're watching it on YouTube, and they would have got it crystal clear. That's the thing. So on StreamYard, you are right, but it's only for us that it look bad. But he is right. Go to his channel. The link is there. I have it on my channel as well, but I have his original link in the link description. Go and check it out.
I'm up
Support
to 301
both channels.
subs.
Go and support both
Yeah.
channels. I know
301 subs. So, you know, if you can get me some more subs and, you know, could get monetized, that would be nice.
yeah, well, I mean,
With your
ever
watch
since
hours
you've
up.
been doing
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
your subs have jumped up, and rightly so, because you went way beyond for this. When we were plugging this hashtag, when Eddie started up, and we started plugging it, you were already planning behind the scenes, and then you let slip one night that you were working on something, and then obviously you got me very interested in what. And this was the first time actually that you didn't give me a sneak peek until it was nearly done.
Well, you did get a sneak peek because I did have that
No,
little
I
tunnel
mean
thing with the
that was
logo.
the night before, but then you obviously had to fit it. You said that needed to be tidied up a bit, but in fairness, you normally send me screenshots and all this, but you kept this very close to your chest.
I did that theme tune in a day and a half. It nearly killed me, I swear to God, because like it was just like I had to time stretch the bass line and to get the drums programmed, and then I had to. Oh God!
Well, in fairness, if that hasn't stirred people up, though, and that's the whole idea of this, is to show fans what they've been missing. And I know it's only a title sequence, but there's a lot that don't like Jodie Whittaker's, right? This was showing you the potential, right, of what could happen, right? And I think that's just absolutely, again, as I said, has went way beyond, especially these last few weeks, especially. And you know what? He probably does feel like shit because of reading over 800 of those fucking vile messages would have bleeding disheartened anybody. But, you know, he did it. He went and he sent those tweets to the people in question. They will now hand it over to the police, like with the rest of the evidence. And hopefully, as I said, that there are charges brought against some of these people out. The ringleaders, anyway, I would like to see, because once you get rid of the ringleaders, then the rest of them will all start panicking or backtracking. But the ringleaders must be sorted out. And by the way, just because Tom Vance has gone off Twitter doesn't mean that he is not part of this, because he said some pretty vile stuff about banging lesbians straight, drinking my sperm and stuff like that. So he's been included as well, because if he thinks by going off Twitter he's getting away scot-free, he's not. Everybody is going to be exposed.
Yeah, I had to contextualize where the trolling was instigated from, because it was undeniable that originally those trolls were within that circle, right? And then it's only when we exposed them and then they started trolling the other side did they start to take notice. They ignored it all the way up to even when they came after your wife, Noel. They were like, "Oh, that's terrible. That's bad." They did nothing about it, even though we were pointing to who it was.
We showed them screenshots, and not one of them, not Mr. TARDIS or any of these other people. Why?
No one picked up the banner.
Because I'm toxic, because I'm a white supremacist, because I'm racist.
And these people are moral overlords. You know, just remember that, really.
Yeah, and they're the ones that were coming out with their statement saying that the fandom must do much better, but yet their own side were acting like a bunch of toxic maniacs and targeting anybody that had a different opinion. But
yeah, that's what I've been saying to you. No, I've been keep using this horrible phrase. We had to be whiter than white, and that's why we were. They weren't.
But look, it's all coming down around them. You know, even, do you know what I found funny as well? When those people that supported Tom Vance, they taken down their tweets, but unfortunately for them, we had fans that, including myself, had taken screenshots of them supporting them. So they're not getting away with it either, because they also supported the Tom Vance, and they're not getting away with being exposed. And if someone goes and looks at me Twitter account, I have a post that's pinned to it. If you go into that, then you'll see screenshots of some of the stuff. And this is actually the least offensive. Lee will tell you this, though.
Oh, God,
this is the least offensive stuff that I put up, because I cannot, even Cheryl said it in the chat last night, there is no way I could actually put up what we've been sent. It's being sent privately now, and they hand it to the police. Because if we were to show, we'd have our Twitter account suspended. That's the thing. These people that were writing all this stuff, some of them now have had their Twitter accounts suspended, but a lot of them haven't. But have you seen the vile stuff that's being sent? Absolutely unbelievable. And another person now has been exposed. Do you remember when I told you me and Eddie were sent nude pictures by some bloke? Well, now, unfortunately for him, apparently he was sending nude photographs to minors, they're saying.
Oh.
So what's he done? He's hid his account, tried to change his name and all of this. He's done for. He's done for now. I don't care if you're a nudist or a naturist or whatever you fucking are. You don't shove that in our faces. And the only reason why he did is because we didn't like this era and he was trying to get a reaction out of us. When you got a reaction, you're going to have police knocking at your door soon. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if you hide your face or you hide. The police are investigating now.
Finding you.
Right? Police are investigating now, and you will be, hopefully, because what you've done is illegal anyway. You shouldn't be sending nude photographs without asking that person's permission. Anyway, sending nude private photos.
Indecent exposure we had in
DMs.
university
Even
once.
Eddie backed me up when he says, Noel's telling the truth here because the same guy sent me nudes. But would the people listen to me? No, they accuse me of bullying that bloke. Just like they accuse me of bullying Tom Vance and the hate group that they'd set
Yeah,
up.
because one person can bully 3,000 people. Yeah, I mean,
So that's
really,
the
come
thing.
on.
Think about it. I was accused of bullying Tom Vance. Look what happened. I was accused of bullying that fella that sent me those screenshots and sent photographs of his private parts, and Eddie backed me up. Look what's happened to him as well, right? Every single person that I've ever called out right now is backtracking, and right now is in a lot of trouble because unfortunately, and Lee predicted this. Lee actually did predict this last year. He says, watch, they'll fuck with one of their own and it'll all fall down around them. And that's exactly what's happened now. So now they have to pretend that they're morally outraged. They knew this was happening for 2.5 years and they refused to do anything about it. Then you have people like Mr. Tardis attacking me saying I was the toxic one, right? When it was people that he pandered, and this is why he put up his tweets, by the way. He doesn't get away with this either, by the way, because he helped build this atmosphere, right? Along with other people out there that were attacking me, right? They built this atmosphere up. They gave you a false narrative about me and this channel and what we were about, right? So when I was attacked by these vile individuals or being sent all of this stuff, people wouldn't believe me because they set up the narrative. And again, when Jodie Whittaker was announced that she was leaving, a particular YouTuber out there and a big Twitter handle decided that this was the time to show his hit piece on me again because he's a jealous little swine. He's jealous because John Barrowman retweeted
Isn't
me.
there rules on the YouTube about hitting down?
Magazine covered me news, which happened to be fucking true, by the way. Because at the end of that video, I literally said Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall will leave together, and that was the video that he had taken down. He's a vindictive little swine, and I tell you, he will see what's going to happen now, because he's not immune from all of this. Because even Lee was sending them before he blocked Lee. I don't know if he still has Lee blocked, but
Yeah.
Lee was.
Well, that's it. He blocks everyone he slanders and libels. I'm sorry. If you're that convinced that you're right, if you're that morally superior, and if you are going to stand by what you state, why then do you then go on to block the very people that you're targeting with libel? Oh, it's because you're full of shit, and because you're lying through your ass, and that is a cowardly move. What he did was attack people using his clout, which is on the decline anyway. I mean, he's got so many subscribers, yet when you look at his video views, they're not even a very high percentage of his subscribers. But that's the thing. He blocks people. He blocks them. He libels them and blocks them.
And then he reposted the video the day Whittaker was announced and Chibnall were announced, because he said, "Oh, I just want to remind people that Noel has been wrong." But as I said, he hasn't done the research. His research and his hit piece video was actually pathetic, because all he did was show his audience what he wanted to show them to follow his narrative, saying he didn't show the follow-up videos or videos where I actually got stuff right. And then when he did show stuff that I got right, example, the embargoed photographs, he tried to claim that I photoshopped them. But, and I said this to people, go back and look at those tweets. I actually put the screenshots up. The dates is on it. If you just go back through my Twitter account, you will see where I actually posted those photographs.
You sent them to me 15 minutes before it was released. Exactly. So I know.
Again, there's what I'm talking about, right? So we've already removed Andrew, and he's decided to set up another account now to give another super chat to say that he was sorry. Listen, I don't want your apology. I don't accept your apology, right? Because you've been going around stalking Ballstreck. You were going around stalking Gary's channel as well. Then you picked on me when I came along, and then you're picking on Daniel. Right?
And you were allowed on this channel to speak.
Yeah, I even brought you on this channel, and then you continue to abuse me, right? So take your super chats and go and fuck yourself, right? And I hope you're also, picked up by the police and they investigate you, because you are nothing but a nasty little troll. And do not, under any circumstances, go into Daniel's channel tonight, right? Because you'll be removed by me and others, right? You do not, right? We don't want your apology. I don't accept your apology because it's not sincere. And any person that does come out with an apology now, they'll be only doing it to save their own skin. Well, stuff yous our apology. Keep them to yourself, because I know yous aren't honest, right? I'm done with messing with you little shits now. Yous can all fuck off, get out of this fandom, and don't ever come back. Yous don't belong. Yous don't. And I'll say it out straight. Yous don't belong, right? Yous have done nothing but attack the old fans in this fandom and fans since 2005 because they don't align with what yous think. Right? So fuck off, take your super chats and ram them down your fucking throat. Nobody wants them. Right? And I'm done with you. So I don't want to ever see you on this channel again or on Daniel's channel again. You're done. You're a spent force in this fandom. So go away.
There you go.
People. I am done.
God, remember just before World War II when they started pushing the fascists out in the UK? It's starting to turn like that, isn't it?
And I am sorry.
Like Lord Reef.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to apologise about me language here. But you've got to understand, people call me toxic, right?
Yeah.
Right? I just want to say something, right? Do you fucking blame me? Because it's already been shown now, all the abuse that I've gotten over these last few years. Of course I'm bitter. Of course I'm angry at these fans, because they've been doing nothing but lying about me from day one. They've attacked me character, right? They've attacked me character. They're saying I'm a liar, I'm a white supremacist, I'm sexist, I'm racist and all of this. This takes its toll. Of course I came out against them, because I will defend my honour and I'll defend people on this channel's honour. Right? We are not going to be tainted and told that we're this, that, and the other no more. It's done. You are done in this fandom. So just go away. Right? We're done with yous. And I'm sorry, yeah, I am angry. Of course I'm fucking angry. Right? I've had to put up with this. Now, obviously on Twitter and YouTube, 2.5 years, but altogether 4 years. Matthew Pound, I will tell you. Early days of Facebook when they were announced, and I was getting shit on that. Right? And I thought they won't follow me onto YouTube, but they did, right? And then they followed me on Twitter as well, right? And they've been doing nothing but assassinating my character from fucking day one because they didn't agree with what I had to say about this era. That's how pathetic these people are, right? So I'm not taking these are bullshit anymore. So I don't want your apology, and don't come in here again, right? We've already blocked one account, and then there you are again with another account. I've not learned your lesson, you little troll.
They don't learn their lessons. That's their problem. It's a generation.
Right? Don't want your... And don't go into Daniel's channel either. I'm telling you out straight. Don't go anywhere near him. Right? He doesn't want you around. Don't be bullying him because he's done nothing fucking wrong. Right? One of the nicest people in this fucking fandom, and now he's going after him. Don't go anywhere near my friends. Right? Leave them alone. Right? Now take your super chat, as I said, and ram it down your throat. Right? I remember when I said I was going to talk to his uncle. I was going to go to the police. And then he sent me an email pretending that he was Andrew Jones's uncle. I'm not buying that bullshit either. So fuck off. Or I will, and I have the screenshots there, right? And I will go to the bleeding police. Well, I don't need to go to the police. I'll hand them over, right? And you will be looked into as well. And then people see how many troll accounts you actually have. So fuck off. Right? I'm sorry, but I've had it now. Lee, you know what it feels like to have your character assassinated. It's not nice. These people have made me out to be a liar, to be this evil person, right? That I'm not. All I've ever had is a different opinion about this here, and I didn't like it. So fucking what, yous morons? So what? I'm entitled to my opinions. You can disagree with me all you want, but to attack me, to rape shame me wife, to go after me friends, to call me a white supremacist, racist, bigot, all of this other stuff, you had no fucking right. No right. So fuck off, the whole lot of yous. Digby Strawbridge, thank you for that. Keep up the good work and all. To hell with the haters. £10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Listen, I'm sorry I'm after getting animated right there at the end. Lee got animated when he first came on, but I'm just even going back
on
all the tweets and all that I received and looking back. I don't know how I survived this era. I don't know how I survived with me mental state intact. Yes, I did have a bit of a break here and there, mental break here and there, but to come out the other side and still here, right? And remember, I'll remind all of those fucking idiots out there that say that I harass people and I bully people. Well, not
you defend yourself. That's all you've done.
Not one time has my YouTube channel been taken down for that. Not one time has my Twitter account been taken down for any of that. Right, my Twitter account was accidentally taken down by Twitter. They took down Gary's and everybody had a celebration. And then Mr. Tardis goes, oh, what was it? Was it a Chinese comment, or was it his bigotry, or his white supremacy? Right?
The same guy that called a rabbi a Nazi. I mean, come on. Really? He called me homophobic and I'm gay. We had Tom Vance calling a trans person a TERF. I mean, it's complete projection. I really wonder what the hell is wrong with these people. I really do.
Yeah. So get away, leave him alone. And I'm telling you now, I'll be in Daniel's chat tonight because I'm working on a couple. I don't think I have Alpha around today. So this is the live stream today. But I will be in Daniel's chat now when he's there. And if I see you in there, you're getting removed straight away. So don't even dare. Don't even dare. Right? You just go away, trot along now, right? We don't want to hear from you, right? Don't want to hear from you idiots anymore, right? Yous are done in this fandom, right? Yous are all being exposed as the toxic little shits that yous are, that we've been saying yous are for over 2 years. And finally, someone in this fandom has decided to do something. It was out of my jurisdiction, which would have made it harder. But the fact that they trolled someone on their own side that happens to be from the UK, it'll be sorted now. And my evidence, along with evidence that Lee had gathered, John White had gathered, and other people, Bradley there, and all of those other people that had gathered evidence over the last couple of years, has been sent to these people. They will now pass it on to the police. So get away. Yous are done.
Daniel says I need to go for munch before my stream. Great work, guys. Thanks, Daniel Legend. We got your back.
Enjoy your food, man. I'm going to have something to eat myself while you're streaming. So I won't be eating on stream like Lee cut me out last night. and then Sharon goes to me, you tell people that you don't like, but you lied about eating. I said, but Lee knew I was messing. Everybody knew I was messing. Of course I was eating. It was fucking obvious I was eating.
Mel's a liar!
Odin does it all the time.
Burn the witch! Burn him!
You know? So, like, you all know me. But look at Daniel. Look, love you, man. Really do. You're like a brother. And as I said to you in a private message, I will always have your back no matter what happens between us two. You are my friend. I cherish our friendship. Lee cherishes it. We all do. And we will always have your back. We'll always have Charlotte's back. And most importantly, we'll have each other's back. And that's the difference between our community and their community. They throw each other under the bus like that, right? And now that the shit is hitting the fan, that's exactly what they're doing. And this is what we said they would do. But with their side, no, there's a thing called loyalty. And we have that in spades. And we will stay loyal to each other. And we will have each other's backs until we decide that we're done with this show. And then obviously we'll do other stuff. And then, you know, we might have to put up with that nonsense. But I don't think anybody is going to be putting up with that nonsense anymore. Because Andrew there is obviously a bit stupid because he doesn't realize there's a police investigation and he's still trying to troll. Whereas the rest of them that haven't been in here because they know not to do that. So my advice to you is, Andrew, is I would stop, because if you don't, you know, you're just gonna make things worse for yourself. And I don't want to see that and bad. Because look, I had you on. You came across as a nice chap. You gave your points of view. But even though I was bringing it on, you were going on Twitter, you were going on whatever, and you were slagging me off.
And he kept saying he was going to stop, and then he didn't stop, and he kept coming back. I've been a mod on Gary's channel for a while, and I kept seeing him come up with different accounts, and I knew it was him because he would always message me, and he would always ask me the same sorts of questions, and then I knew it was him, and I've had to block him multiple times. He keeps setting up new accounts. And I say, look, this is a mental health issue, and I would urge you to get help for that, because that is not good.
I said a few months back that all of this bullshit has to stop because people's mental health are being. And then I got accused then when I come out and I start talking about mental health, right? And people were accusing me of all sorts, right? And I was there saying, look, everybody has to stop. People's mental health are being affected. And I even stopped using the term J-bots and stuff like that. And then when people were coming into the chat, what have I said? I called them out and I say, listen, I don't want to hear J-bot losers and any of that rubbish, right? It stays out of the chat. We don't want to intimidate these. We don't want to give these people a cause to start coming in here and trolling again. So I've stopped that rhetoric, right? And it needs to stop. Because it is, look at, I know they came out, I have every reason anyway, right? Because that everybody will tell you, Lee will back me up on this, right? All I've ever done is defend myself, right? These people have come after me first and then I'll defend myself. But I even get accused from some of my own side that I'm the one that starts it all. That's bullshit.
Yeah, one person can really intimidate 3,000 people.
Exactly.
No one didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning. Okay?
We didn't start the fire.
Oh, don't you set them off.
Since the world was turning. But listen, hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully BBC make the choices that are right for Doctor Who, and we can come on here as a panel and actually talk positively about Doctor Who. That's all I've ever wanted. And if BBC over the last few years had actually gave me something to speak positively about, I would have. I don't give out or argue things for the sake of arguing things like I've been accused of. If Doctor Who was actually good, I would praise it. And by the way, people that have accused me of that, maybe you should go and watch me review on the latest festive special that they dropped, right? Because I was actually quite generous with that. But again, do you know what happened? The other side were like, when they heard that I actually found that episode decent, they came out, oh, I hate the latest special of Doctor Who. It was crap, because I praised it. This is how fucking petty these people are. Right? If I think something is decent, I will come out and I'll say it's decent. It was the same when I did me Loki reviews. I got stick for that. It was the same when I did the Suicide Squad. People then tried to accuse me of, oh, well, Noel's just hating for the sake of hating. Well, everybody was hating on Loki and I praised Loki. Everybody was hating on WandaVision and I praised WandaVision. Same with What If, right? I've watched the first episode. I've yet to watch the second episode. But already people are criticising that. I actually found that show quite interesting and very good. And I don't...
It was very Doctor Who, wasn't it?
And I'm actually baffled by the hate that it's getting. So just don't tell me that I hate for the sake of hating. I don't hate for the sake of hating. I hate because if it's rubbish, I'll come out and say it's rubbish. If it's good, I'll come out and say it's good. Now, BBC...
And your opinions are your opinions. It doesn't matter. And either way, it doesn't fucking matter. Listen, I completely disagree with you about the Suicide Squad. I loved it, but you didn't like it.
No.
So what? Who cares? Like, that's your
Exactly.
opinion.
Oh, exactly.
I
And
get
that's
it, you
fair
know.
enough. If you like it, you know, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you and say, well, this is the reason why you shouldn't have liked it. You're entitled to your opinion, and fair enough, you liked it. Me and Cheryl didn't like it, and that's just sometimes, you know, movies just don't float your boat. Same with
That's
some
it.
TV shows. You know, doesn't mean I'm hating for the sake of hating.
Let's remember this all sprang from simply not liking the direction of a show, and everyone wanted to rip you apart because you're this, you're that, because you didn't like it. It's like, no, look, you know, you can argue the politics of the show, and that's really what they're focusing on. They're not interested in the TV show itself. They're only interested in the politics surrounding it, that's disingenuous. That is not a proper argument. You're using politics as a shield to criticism, and that is not a genuine argument. That's a disingenuous argument, because you're saying, look over here, whilst ignoring the terrible writing, the terrible casting, the terrible acting, and so on and so forth, because you're using the politics and the current day sensibilities, which is, you know, not lacking, well, what's lacking in any sense, as a shield and a sword to silence people from criticizing it, because, oh, it's got a woman in it, so therefore if you don't like the show, you're a sexist. Oh, it's got Yasmin, she's Asian, so that, and it's a nonsense. It's a complete farcical nonsense. It's done deliberately in order to silence criticism, and that's it.
Look, at the end of the day, we're all individuals, and I think that's what's forgotten in this.
Yes, we are all individuals. Tell us more.
We've all got different opinions, and we're not always going to agree. I've even had some debates with panelists on here, but we've had debates, and then it's forgotten about. We don't fall out with each other. We don't fight with each other. We have different opinions. Like you said, you liked the Suicide Squad. Me and Cheryl didn't. You know, it didn't float airball. I thought Peter Capaldi was wasted. Now, that's just my opinion. If people have different opinions on that, that's fine, fair enough, you're entitled to them. But to kind of have a slight little dig and say that, well, I'm hating for the sake of hate. No, I'm not. I will give my honest opinion. That's all I've ever done.
All Noel is doing is condensing down what a lot of other people, that's why you have your audience. And that's why there's a lot of people out there who may agree with you, may not like the way you deliver it. Fine, that's a different thing altogether. But, I mean, the fact is, there are so many people, the viewing figures speak for themselves anyway, right? The vast majority of people are not on board with it. And I'm sorry if that upsets you, but you have to learn to deal with it, cope, as they say.
That's it. Look, you never know. You know, when the air cut comes out of Suicide Squad, I might give that a positive review. I'd rather see the air cut. For me, personally, even though the first Suicide Squad movie is flawed, I did find that one a lot more interesting than the one that James Gunn had produced. Now, that's just my opinion. And, you know, people will strongly disagree with that. That's fine. You're entitled to do that. But as I said, what you're not entitled to do is then have a little dig and say that, well, I'm hating for the sake of hate. No, I don't hate for the sake of hate. Right. And by the way, you know, if this era of Doctor Who had given me something to actually shout and scream about in a positive way, I would have.
Well, let's look at one of the arguments, you know, like the sexism argument. No, doesn't like the Doctor because it's a woman. And what about all the women who don't want there to be a woman Doctor? I've seen outrageous misogyny against the female fans of Doctor Who don't like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and they've been called all manner of names usually by the male parts of the fandom who support the Jodie era, and they've said some terrible things about women, and you know that's acceptable apparently because they're wrong-think women, and it's like, oh, you don't like a strong, independent-minded woman when she disagrees with you. I see. Right? And it's hypocrisy upon hypocrisy.
Exactly.
It's a disingenuous argument, and it proves it's a disingenuous argument because the women who have decided that a female Doctor isn't for them are treated very badly by a lot of the male members who do support it. And it's like, that's funny how they got carte blanche to treat women appallingly
Look, we've
for
had
having an
some women on
opinion
the panel.
that goes against them. You know,
There was
I'm
a
sorry.
starry-eyed girl on the
It's not
panel.
okay.
She didn't like it. We had Blue Bonnet on
Safi
the
says,
panel.
I'm a woman, don't like a female
Didn't like it.
doctor.
But I
There
would
you
say
go.
this. Listen,
It's your
again.
internalized misogyny.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. If there are any other women out there that are listening right now that aren't fans of this era and not fans of a female
Speak
doctor,
up.
get in contact with me, will you? And we'll do a one-off stream with the ladies of this fandom. And you can come on and give us our reasons why Jodie Whittaker's doctor didn't work for you guys. I think, you know, we haven't seen too many of those streams because, unfortunately, a lot of women, as Lee has rightly pointed out, they are afraid to speak their minds because when they do, they're targeted by little ginger-headed trolls. That bullied starry-eyed girl and all offline.
Then chase her into her comments on YouTube to make it an apology. It went on for paragraph after paragraph explaining why she was wrong and who the people that she mixes with are wrong and she shouldn't be mixing with these people. So, I mean, it was just like, I'm sorry, an apology, a sincere apology does not come with a caveat, right? That lasts for paragraph after paragraph. And I got that screenshot still.
Oh, yeah, I know, because I came across it as well when I was going through my mess. Because remember, I used to send all of these things to myself as well. So I'd have them saved in some way because you can go back through your messenger and you can go to the information and then it says photographs and videos that you've shared and you can actually literally go in and see what you've shared over the last couple of years. But I will say this, listen, if there are any women out there that would love to come onto the channel, there's ways of getting in contact with me. You can get in contact with me by leaving a comment when this video goes up on YouTube properly. Go into the comment section, leave a comment there. If you follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, you can also send me a DM on those two sites if you would like to come on and explain your reasons why a female doctor didn't work. Now, obviously, we know from Charlotte's opinions. As I said, we did have starry-eyed girl on this. She went into great detail as well.
Storm and the Wolf.
With our fans out there.
Sorry, Wolf and the Storm we had as well.
And Wolf and the Storm as well. So look, you know, if there's any more, we'll do a stream with all the ladies if you are brave enough to come on now that all of this is coming to an end, and this era will come to an end. And you know, for some of us, it should come along a lot faster, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. But you know, don't be afraid to lend your voices to the argument. And I think, you know, this was one of the things that they were very good at doing, was shaming women into saying, you know, shaming women when they said that they didn't like Jodie Whittaker. That's what happened. They were shaming these women, bullying these women offline because they wanted to make out that it was only men that didn't like Jodie Whittaker's doctor. And that is not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is there's a lot of women out there that actually think that this was not going to work. And you know, because they shared those opinions, they were accused of being sexist themselves. And as Lee and myself have pointed out, some of them were hounded off Twitter. Hounded off so much that their mental health had suffered that they had to leave. That's how bad these people were. And these people feature in Doctor Who lockdown videos, by the way, particularly the person that's bullied starry-eyed girl, has featured in 2 Doctor Who lockdown videos where they did the choir, and he's front and center in there pretending to be the ideal Whovian or Doctor Who fan, wherever you want to call it, and he was it's quite startling. And Lee is right. You know, BBC now need to distance themselves from these people, stop pandering to these people because they've done so much damage. It's unbelievable. But look, we could go on about this. What time is Daniel streaming at?
7, was it? I can't remember.
See, there we go again. See, lesson not learned, right?
Oh.
Lesson not learned there. Tour the count now. Are you really that stupid? I've removed you anyway, but are you really that stupid?
It's too late. You've done the damage.
You've done the yeah, exactly.
Done.
The point, you've done the damage. Your time for apologising should have been when you are found
The first time you apologise, not the second, not the third,
more
not
than
the
a fourth
fourth.
or the fifth. Exactly. Your apologies are hollow to me. As I said,
Can't
I
trust
don't want your apology, right? Because you don't. It's not a meaningful apology. You're only apologising now because you know there's an active police investigation, and that's why you're coming in here now, because you're trying to cover your own ass. Well, you won't be able to cover your own ass. I've removed you anyway, and he takes away the super chats anyway, because it shows the list of people that send me super chats. He literally puts the super chat in. They have a certain amount of time to take it down. So when I read it, then he takes it down. So sorry, I'm not reading it. Don't care. Keep your apology. As I said, I don't accept it anyway, right? And nobody should accept apologies now because they won't be sincere. They won't be sincere. He's only apologising because, as I said, you know the heat has been put on now. You know there's an active police investigation, and that's why you are coming in now.
I would just advise him, Andrew. Seriously, just let it go. Listen, to be honest with you, I don't think you're.
He's not the worst one. He's not the worst one, but the problem
worst by a
is
long
he
shot.
apologised 7 or 8 times.
I would say to Andrew, I wouldn't worry, but the more you keep doing this, the worse it is. I would just say to him,
Making a bigger
just relax, go away, think about what you've done, and just leave it, and that's it. I don't think you'll be a person of interest. Let's put it that way. I think you just need to chill out, forget about it, move on, and just enjoy your life. And just don't. You don't need to be here. You don't need to listen. Noel's made it clear he's not interested. So just take that hint and go about your day, go about your life. Be a success in whatever you do, and don't worry so much about it now. It's done. It's done.
Listen, I'm done with you. So just you've no need to be coming into this chat. You don't support what I say anyway, so I don't know why you're in making comments anyway. If you have a different opinion, that's fine, fair enough. But I don't want your apology because, as I said, you've apologized so many times, and then that very same day you've went and you've criticized me on someone else's stream or up on your social medias. So, as I said, just leave me alone and leave my friends alone. I don't want your apology, but I hope you do learn from this. As Lee said, I'd go away, think about all the things that you've done, and become a better person. But I don't want your apology because I don't believe it's sincere. Right, so just leave it now. I'm not going to give out any more about it. Just walk away. I don't want to see any more messages from you now. As I said, I'm not interested in any apology that you make. So accept that, move on, and leave me alone. And this is how you will show me that you're actually listening and learning by not coming in here again. I've asked you now to walk away, right? Because you obviously don't agree with things that I've said. Right, I was generous enough to bring you on this channel a few times, and then straight after you were shit talking me on Twitter. So I'm done. I'm sorry. That's the way I am. And you know what? People out there don't blame me, because if you've put up with the stuff that I've put up with, I've just had enough. So just walk away now. Hope you learn from your actions over the last couple of years. And I hope you do grow as a person and become a better person. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to see you here. So I'm done. And that's all I'm going to say on that now. But 3 accounts now so far. Right? So learn your lesson. And learning your lesson is not coming back in with a 4th account and trying to put up a super chat. Learning your lesson is leaving it now, walking away, and learn from your experience. Learn from what you've done and become that better person, right? Because deep down, Andrew, having you on the channel, you're not the worst one out there. I will say that. And I do think you have a capacity to learn from your mistakes. So prove me right. Learn from your mistakes. Move on, get on with your life, and become a better human being. You don't need to keep doing this. It's ridiculous. So I'll leave it at that. And I don't owe anybody an apology. And I'll never. And by the way, I said this last night. I want to make it clear. I will never apologize for anything I said or done in this fandom over this era, because as I said, I stand by everything I say, even if my opinions have slightly changed on certain issues. I stand by what I said at the time, and I'm not ever going to apologize for being myself and giving my honest opinions, right? So don't expect an apology from me. So that's it. I'm done. My son loves Rose. Yeah. He won't remember when he didn't think I would call him back. He said sorry that he might be prosecuted, not for his persecuted, not for his actions. I know he went. I know you actually. I know. Look, at Cheryl. That's why I'm not accepted, because I know what he's doing, and I hope he learns from this. But he's there. I don't want him in here, and as I said, I don't want to see him on Daniel's channel tonight either. Daniel has made it clear as well that he wants to be left alone. So learn your lesson, leave us alone. Simple as that. Do you know what? I will say something about the other side. Yes, they're panicking and all of that, but nobody's been in here trolling from the other side. So they're obviously getting the message. So you do the same thing. Get the message, move on, be a better human being. I'm done now. But yeah, again, get behind the hashtag, please. As Lee has rightly pointed out, there's nothing to lose.
Nope.
And hopefully all this mess with the fandom is finally sorted. Well, I think it will, to be quite honest with you. But let's hope now we can look to a brighter future with Doctor Who. And let's hope BBC make the right decisions. But as I said from day one, no decision on showrunner or Doctor has been made, and that was verified today. So as I said, when it comes to Doctor Who source information, the only two people, and I'm not just saying this because I'm big-headed, it's a fact, the only two people that you should be really listening to right now is myself and Eddie, because anytime we put Artin up, it seems to be verified every time. We get called lawyers all the time, and again, we've proven once again that we know what we're talking about. So, and I will say this, if there's any YouTuber out there that is covering all of this, remember to give me and Eddie a shout out, because we are the ones that are putting this out there. I do see that people do streams and we never get a mention, even though it is our information. Remember, give the person credit, or the people credit that have actually put the information out. And that's me and Eddie. So make sure you link his channel in the link description, link mine with the stream that we've spoken about, all of this stuff. It's important that the people that put this out get the credit that they deserve, because I get criticized, I always get criticized and told that I'm a liar. And if people would only, when they're covering this, will put the links in, they will see that I'm telling the truth. So if anybody else out there is going to cover it, make sure you give the credit to the people that deserve the credit for this, right? And I'm sorry if it does sound big-headed, but I'm not being big-headed. It's the fact that I've been doing this now for how long? Over 2.5 years, nearly 3 years now of getting source information, right? I think I'm pretty good. And I think my sources are pretty good with the hit rate that they've gotten. So that's where I stand on that. Make sure that the right people are getting the credit. And as I said, when those rumors came out from Council of Geeks and all, I called them out and I said it was bullshit, because I'd already known, and I told you that no decisions were made. That has been verified today. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, go back to the very start of my stream and you'll see what I'm talking about. But as I said, Eddie and my sources seem to come true every time. Eddie gets accused on Twitter of lying all the time, and time again, he keeps showing people that he's telling the truth, just like I do. So, again, these people have lost all credibility.
As I said earlier, Noel's showing his references, nobody else does. So
exactly. And not only that, the media that covered those stories ought to be ashamed of themselves. They've lost all credibility.
No
For as I said, they're trying
There's an agenda.
they're trying to control the narrative like I said they would when Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. I said, watch them control the narrative. Watch the media come out with potential doctors. It's all going to be women and all of this. And that's what's come to fore, right? They don't know. They haven't got a clue. Radio Times, Screen Rant, The Telegraph, all of these other media outlets have said that the doctor is being cast and there's a showrunner. They've lost credibility. They haven't got a clue, like I've said from day one. And those YouTubers out there that are criticised as well, they haven't got a clue either. They're trying to push a narrative. Imagine coming out and saying, well, I got information off a friend, I got information off someone else, and then the media reports on that as if it's fact. Absolutely diabolical from the media. But do you know why they're doing it? Because they've nothing else to talk about either. There is an agenda, but they've also got nothing else to talk about, right? I guarantee you that nobody from the newspapers will cover this stream, right? Or will cover anything that I've said here. No, they cover their own side because they're all in a little group together and they're all trying to control the narrative. But unfortunately for them, what they don't realise is BBC is not going to be paying attention to any of this because listening to your side has crippled the show, crippled the audience and bankrupt them nearly. So why would they listen to you? And we got a Kip Ellis unicorn, 149 unicorn. Thank you. We do like the unicorns, Kip. So thanks for that. So, lads, is there anything else you would like to add before we leave tonight? Lee, would you like to have some final words on?
Again, just to reiterate, really, that, listen, we're all in the same boat. For the last few years, we've all felt this, right? This has been a demoralizing campaign. And all I will ask is, no matter how demoralized you feel, how bad it's gotten for you, how disinterested you've become, you've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain because the BBC have everything to lose. We do not. So just back the campaign, even if your heart's not in it, it takes no more than a couple of seconds to type hashtag Doctor Who. You've got my, if you're on Twitter, you've got my title sequence for Michael Sheen there. It's pinned to my profile. All you need to do, click on that, share it, hashtag Michael Sheen 14. You do that once a day, once a week even, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just do your little part. We're just asking you. We're asking you as friends. Above all else, even if your heart's not in it, do it for us. Do it for the fans that do have the last embers of hope left to just back us. I mean, what's the alternative? Sit in your hands, do nothing and just complain. You can't really complain if you don't do something.
Listen,
if you've done something and nothing happens, at least you can say, well, we tried.
Look at Ballstreck, for example, right? When I first made him aware of this, he wasn't getting behind it. And I was pretty upset about that, as you know, right? But then he had a change of heart, right? He had a change of heart. And he even wrote up, even though I do think this is futile and I think BBC will double down, I will tweet the hashtag Shane for 14. Now, for someone like him who has been hurt just as much as the rest of us and has taken it very personally, for him to get behind it shows me the character of that man. And I've always known that Ballstreck is a great bloke anyway, because I have had conversations with him, many a conversation behind the scenes. So I know what that chap's been through and what he's had to put up with. But I also know how much what this show means to him, and he is hurting. But if he's able to put his personal feelings aside to throw up that hashtag, well, then I agree with Lee. There doesn't seem. I don't think there is any excuse for anybody not to. I can understand it. I can understand it to a certain extent. I really can. Lee can't, and that's the fun. We have different opinions, but it does only take 2 seconds. You know, we're not asking you to like get your hopes up, you know, and say, oh yeah, Michael Sheen will be the Doctor.
Listen, I am one of those RIP Doctor Who types. You know, I have many a times done that. You know, I've been angry at the BBC with the defund the BBC. I will backtrack on everything if they get this right. I swear to God, and it's not difficult. It really isn't. I just can't understand how it seems to evade them. Yeah, it's not difficult. It's not. You've been doing it for over 50 years brilliantly. You can do this. And I've put aside even my personal choices. Like Anur and Bernard. But because I think if you all rally around one archetypal actor, then at least I think it's cohesive, it's organized. This is something we've been lacking all this time because of the demoralizing and the 3,000 strong hate mob that descended on anyone who stepped out of line. I get it, but now it's clear blue sky.
Yeah.
It's not raining as much as it was. It's a bit spotty, but put an umbrella up, the Sheen umbrella, hashtag Sheen for 14, stand under it, and we'll all gather under that, and we'll just march through that rain, and we'll come out the other side. One way or the other, we have nothing to lose.
Nothing.
BBC has everything to lose, and we need to make sure that they know it. And I don't see any problem with that. I think all in. Let's go all in on this. We've got nothing to lose. Again, just for us, for the sake of Doctor Who, the very thing that you love. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I've been asked if another TARDIS Zone talks will return. Well, I suppose there are a few people that want to obviously talk about this and get stuff off their chest. I might organise it for next week because we have contact on Friday, and now that we've hit the ground running with that stream, I want to kind of keep that up. But if we do have another TARDIS Zone talks, it'll be midweek. But I'll let you all know because if there are people that want to come on and discuss all of this and the latest stuff that's come out, that's fine, fair enough. I'm willing to do that. But it'll be next week. Because we already have a load of streams already lined up. As I said, we have contact on Friday. Then Saturday we've got our classic watch along, and Sunday we've got our new Who. So we're pretty busy this week. I still have to throw out a couple of pre-records. By the way, I forgot. I think I already threw. Did I already throw watch the trailer for the watch along the weekend? Did it go up? Because I think I scheduled it. I just want to make sure that I did go up.
I'll say another thing as well. I forgot to mention a lot of the arguments against the hashtag is that it doesn't matter what act you put in if the writing team or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
we know that, but I think if you get someone of the caliber of Michael Sheen. If they did another Capaldi to him, by giving him terrible writing, and I think, there's only so many times you can keep making the same bloody mistake, right? I mean, we say that, but yes, of course, the culture at the BBC needs to chill out. That the writing needs to be good, the production team needs to be on point. We get that. But you start with a figurehead. This is about an archetype, right? Using an archetype to say that this is the standard we want. And if you're going to get that level of actor in, then you need to have that level of writing and that level of production in there as well. So it's all encompassing. It represents all of that. It's an ideal. That's why I did that title sequence in order to show how I would envision it. I mean, it's obviously like something I've thrown together, but I tried to throw in as many archetypal, classic and modern era elements in there to kind of tie it all up and present something and say, this is at least a bar we don't want to fall below, right? And that means everything. So if you get someone like that level, then everything has to be at that level.
Exactly. And again, you've got a spot on. Look, as I said, we have a unique opportunity that we have not had in a long, long time. And as again, even if you think the show is dead and you don't think that it's, you know, it's worth saving, you've nothing to lose by getting behind this hashtag. We will be organising sometime next week. Obviously, Lee will tell you that I have been trying to convince some of the bigger YouTubers to get behind this. I still haven't had a response yet, which obviously they have been busy with Vegas and stuff like that. But I hope to get a response. But because next week, I won't tell you right now on the stream because we don't want to alert the other side. It'll be the spur of the moment thing. But next week, we want to organise a day where everybody for 1 hour, we go on to social media, Twitter, and try get this hashtag trending. Now, if we can get the support of the bigger YouTubers, there is no reason why that doesn't happen. Because look at the thousands of supporters that they have. Even if their heart is not in it, as Lee said, nobody has anything to lose by using the hashtag. You're not losing face. You know what I mean? You're losing absolutely nothing.
Again, reminder that this, if you're demoralized to the point of apathy that you can't be bothered or don't want to do anything, that means that they have won. And do you honestly really want them to win? All right. I mean, listen, I understand. This is much more, you know, this is, if you claim to be, right, part of the culture war, as it's been monitored, right? If you want to claim that this is a culture war and you're in it, but you're not willing to do anything about it, then it's not a war anymore. It's over.
You can't win it if you're not in it.
Duh, right? So this is your chance. Nothing to lose. The BBC has everything to lose. We all lose if the BBC loses its mind any further and goes along with continuing the same nonsense, right? We all know that. They must know that. So in order for anything to change, you have to show your heart still in it. And I know it's difficult, even if your heart isn't even in it anymore. This is the war. This is what it boils down to. Star Trek is lost. We know that. We have one opportunity here, and it is an opportunity, regardless of whether your heart's not in it or not. The BBC must now be fully aware that the tide has changed. And, you know, come on, you know, this is the moment. We've been sitting there agitated for 4 years, and is it all going to be for nothing? Come on, last shout, last throw of the dice. Just do it. You know, do it as a favor to me. It's a favor to Noel.
Don't do it a favor to me. If you say no. If you say do it to a favor to Noel, they won't do it because some people.
Well, do it as a favor to me. Do it as a favor to Daniel. Do it as a favor to all the people who've been bullied into silence.
Do it as a favor to all the people that have suffered in this fandom over the last couple of years. And if you care about the fandom like you say you do, then you have no problem getting behind it because you've nothing to lose.
This is for the fans. This is for the fans.
Exactly.
Right? There's no point saying the fans aren't listened to, the fans, if you're not going to fight for the fans, right? This is your chance to stand up and be heard and bang your drum. Look, we're under no illusions, right? That
exactly.
We're going to be taken seriously whatsoever. But we might as well go down fighting for it because why not?
That's all I want. We said that we were going to fight too. Let's go down fighting. And even if BBC do go and double down, right? So at least we can hold their heads up high and say, we tried. We tried.
Retro Dicky says, hashtag Gallifrey Falls no more.
Yes.
Excellent. Add that to your hashtag shoot for 14.
By the way, I just want to read Lee Halford's comment because it's fucking hilarious. He goes, Jesus, I've been shopping, gone home, cooked and washed up, and you're still here. Yes, because when I bring people on like Lee, Charlotte, and PD, we do have a great conversation. There's people in the chat as well we're interacting with. Look, at these streams, when I do them, I try to set a time limit sometimes and it never works out. So I've just gone to the point where I don't even set a time limit anymore. We just talk until till people are sick of us and we're bored. But we are finishing up now. We just wanted to to summarize and wrap up. So Lee has gotten his say. Let's PD, would you like to finish up? What would you like to say to people out there?
Just a little thing in regards to Canon. I mean, if you're going to go against Canon as a showrunner or anything, it's like literally trying to run a diesel electric locomotive on the open roads. It's going to create a major accident. And a
I
major
know you're
fire.
not complaining. I'm laughing at you because you're right. You always set a fucking time limit, and I always go over it. So I know you're not complaining, Lee. I'm just making a joke because you're right. We are still here.
Yeah, and also that the BBC have got this weird habit of jumping on trends. They should go back to innovating and stop trend jumping. Seriously.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, the BBC used to be cutting edge and at the forefront of quality, but they've succumbed to
the Hollywood
what
trend.
They used to criticize ITV for. You know, this populist thing, and
populist trend thing. Yeah.
And it's this sort of low end trend. It was because it's a middle class.
Well, they left themselves open for that because if they covered up people like Jimmy Savile and all those others that were working under the BBC, and they had to keep changing, so they pandered to the wrong side, and now what's happened is that they're losing money big time, and they've realised that now. They need to stop pandering to everybody and just start making Doctor Who that appeals to everybody. They claim that this current era was for everybody, space for all of that rubbish and all of this, but at the same time saying that Jodie broke the glass ceiling and all this other rubbish. It was never for all fans. It was never for all fans. And the next showrunner and the next Doctor has to be for everybody. So everybody can get behind, and BBC needs to start thinking like that. Listen, you're in the business, and anybody from BBC that is watching, you're in the business of making money, right? You want to make money. Listen to what people have been saying over the last few years. We will trust me. If you do a series of Doctor Who that is entertaining, right, keeps us at the edge of our seats, trust me, fans will slowly but surely come back. Maybe not them all, right? Maybe not them all, because there's a lot that have been hurt. But you'll be able to convince some of these people to come back. And that's not a bad thing. And you can introduce new fans to the show. But what you must do is be very careful not to pander to these people, right?
It is a fringe.
Because if you do, it's game over. It's game over. And look at, no matter what people say about me in this fandom, right? And I know in the past I've said, R.I.P. Doctor Who, the show is dead, right? But obviously getting the information that I've been getting, looking at what BBC is doing, I don't think that is the case now. I think there is a genuine effort to change. And once I see that there's a genuine effort, I will give BBC one last chance to get this right. Now, if they get it wrong, right, and they double down, triple down, whatever, I'm done. I'll never speak about
well, I'm already done until they're gone. Once they're gone, and if I see change, I will be back. But it has to be changed for the better, not change.
And that's all we want. Listen, all I want is to be able to come on this channel with Lee, PD, or whatever panelists I have on, and to come on and praise Doctor Who to the rooftops, to sing its praises, to get people to come into the fandom, to introduce the show to new people, say, listen, we're proud of our show. We're proud of Doctor Who. We're proud Whovians. We're proud Doctor Who fans. Look at this show. Look at what it's doing. Look how entertaining it is. That's all I've ever wanted to do. But I've never been able to do that during this regime or this era. And hopefully now BBC have gotten the message. But by what I've seen so far, and Charlotte agreed with me, there does seem to be a clear effort, or there does seem to be changes afoot. Now, whether it'll be enough for fans to come back remains to be seen. As I said, we're under no illusion here. But as Lee has pointed out, and I've pointed out several times in this stream alone, we have nothing to lose by getting behind this hashtag. And you never know. And for people saying that they're not listening to the fans and they're not going to listen to the British public, you're wrong. And I'll call it out and I'll say it out straight. You're wrong. Because if you already look at the evidence, serialized Series 13, we're going to have a continuing continual story arc. These were things that we spoke about on this channel when Series 12 was airing, that this was being talked about because they weren't happy with the way Doctor Who was going. Even as far back as Series 11, actually, I was talking about that BBC wanted Chibnall to change the way he was doing things. That's why Series 12 was completely different to Series 11, and that's why Series 13 is going to be completely different to Series 12, because BBC now have finally put their foot down, said enough is enough, tidy this up, sort all this bleeding rubbish out, so we can move on, because they understand now that this show is in peril. They understand that they've only got one chance now to get this right, and they only have one chance with us. I'm done after this. If they go the opposite way, right, and they double down, triple down, I'm done. No Doctor Who except for the classic era will be spoke about on this channel, because we'll be doing the watch-alongs. But I'll be done. I won't even do new Who watch-alongs. I'll be done. That's how I feel about it. And that's, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to see Doctor Who go away. There's always been this, I have said maybe it would be a good idea to go on a break. But now that I can see that BBC are genuinely making changes, I don't want the show to go away. I want this show to entertain people the way it used to entertain people. And there's an opportunity here for BBC to do exactly that. So fingers crossed, people, that they do. But I'm going to leave it at that because, as I said, I'm going to get something to eat. Daniel's going to be streaming. I'm going to be in the chat, keeping an eye this time because, and I want to, obviously, I want to hear what they have to say about Line of Duty because if the reviews are good, I'm going to consider watching it from next week onwards and do a binge watch with the wife because it's something that we have spoke about watching. But I'll go and check out Daniel's stream because if anybody is going to tell me the truth about a TV show and about how good or bad it is, it'll be Daniel because he's like me. He's one of the most honest people out there. He'll give his honest opinions. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel, I'd advise you all to do so. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the lads now do their shout outs, and I'll leave you with the Sheen for 14 video at the end. So just hang on there. Oh, and check out my YouTube channel. I'll be putting it up in a few minutes. I do have a trailer set up. I was supposed to do it last night, but I got sidetracked. There will be a trailer for the Classic Who watch along this weekend. So if some people are wondering what it is, go and check out the channel in a few minutes. I'll be dropping that trailer in a minute. It's already up on the channel. It's been up on the channel for 2 days. I just haven't gotten around to put it up. It'll be an instant premiere. So literally when this stream's over, it'll be premiering on the channel. So Lee, we'll start with you. If you want to tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Being Problem.
Yes.
My alternative channel, which has the title sequence there from Michael Sheen, is Audred Audio Visual, AUDRED. Please do repost that. It's already, it was 1,100 something likes, views earlier. It's now at 1,200. Since I last mentioned it, so that's doing really well. So please keep sharing it. Please put it out there. Even if you shared it once already, please share it. Please give it a like. Please subscribe to that channel. It'd be great to get to 1,000 subs. And that's it. Do that. Be good. Be kind.
Oh wow, mine's gone from over 300 views to 504 views. So there you go.
Nice. And if you have seen it on Noel's channel, please go to the link there to mine and give it a like there.
And give it a like there as well. Exactly.
And share it wide and far and wide.
That's it. Right, PD.
Okay, could you please support our good friend Enigmatic Joker on his channel? He's just starting, new starty on YouTube. We most appreciate if you could support him. And currently going on at the moment, Rabbi's on the other channel.
Fantastic. And remember, we have contact on Friday and Enigmatic Joker will be there. Again, apologies that you weren't on last week.
We're a week behind.
totally forgot about it. But that's because I was very busy. But that's not an excuse. But again, you know, it totally slipped me mind. So we will see Enigmatic Joker on Friday, and hopefully we'll have a few more guests joining us. Maybe some of the same guests that we had on last week as well. But if you are interested on being part of that stream, it was a great stream last week. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend that you watch it. It was a bunch of mates all sitting around talking. It was a very good stream. There was laughs to be had as well. So if you're interested, send me a DM in the usual places, as I've said, and we will bring you on. Right, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to leave you with Lee's terrific titles again. And then I'll play the original Trans Channel trailer as well. But here we go. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Today, 4 hours we've went. I didn't... Well, 3 hours and 45 minutes. I didn't think we'd go this long, but this is what happens when you've got people on that you enjoy talking with, and you guys in the chat as well make these streams what they are. So I want to thank you guys as well. And Kip, thanks for your super chat. Really appreciate it. And was Digby Strawbridge also, I think, through a super chat. I don't acknowledge the others because, as I said, I didn't accept them. But for you guys, thank you for the super chats. We really appreciate all the support, whether it's viewing the video, super chat, or supporting anything that we've done on this channel. I really, really do appreciate it. And as I said, show your love to Lee on his channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, please do. He's got 300 subscribers. He is right. Let's try get him up to 1,000. Because if anybody deserves to be monetized, it's that man. He has not realized the amount of work that he does, seriously, behind the scenes, how much he's thrown himself behind this campaign, and how much he's thrown his weight behind in defending me, Daniel, and others in this fandom. He has gone way beyond what a person should do. But that just goes to show you how decent Lee is. He's a decent human being, one of the nicest people that I've gotten to know. And as I said on Twitter a few weeks back, maybe not last week, I'm proud to have him as a friend. And, long may
shut up.
Long may it continue. And remember, I just want to make this point. Me and Lee didn't start off on the greatest foot. He'll tell you that himself. But we're adult enough to put our personal differences aside that we had at the time, and we became friends. And that's how you act like an adult, and that's how you behave. And you know what? As I said, he's went way beyond for me even, with all the stuff that he's done. So again, I'm going to thank him. And I know he hates me blowing smoke his way. He prefers me to just shut up now. So I'm going to shut up before I embarrass him anymore. But to everybody out there, listen, you have been brilliant, especially over these last couple of months, because it has been hard for me. But you have made it a little bit more tolerable. But as I said last night, I'm starting to enjoy all these streams again. So, and I think it will continue, because obviously the other side is broken up now. And they're finally getting consequences to their actions over the last couple of years.
Yes, remember, it's consequence culture, everyone.
That's it. So, yeah. Right, here we go. I'm going to leave you with this. Have a good one. I'll see some of you over on Daniel's chat. But as I said, look out for that trailer. And I might have a surprise pre-record later on as well. It'll be after Daniel's stream anyway. So check it out if I do. If I throw it up. I'll let you know either way anyway. Right. Just see a comment there. Just want to make sure I'm not missing that. No. Okay. Chris, thank you to me moderators as well. It's been pretty quiet, but let's hope it stays that way. Right, folks. Good night. I should say good afternoon. Oh, no. Good evening. It's nearly 6 o'clock, so good evening.
Yeah.
Have a good one. It's a lovely and sunny here, I have to say. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Just want to say goodbye, lads.
Bye.
Bye, lads.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
Lee
Adios.
keeps doing the same
Sayonara.
thing. One day Lee will actually say good night, everybody. You know. Here we go. Here's these titles.